Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Frame Rate on Trinity FM.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Frame Rate, not on Trinity FM, live from my living room. My name is Sean Clark, and this is a pop culture show where we talk about music, movies, video games, and all sorts of other media, which we consume to distract ourselves from the dystopian hellscape outside the window. What's the hellscape looking like today?
It's a bit cloudy, but it's not, like, really bad. It could get sunnier, I think.
We are currently in the midst of a drought here in Ireland. It has been, how long? It's been... Well, yesterday we had a really big rainy day, but for the 3 weeks before that, there was no rain and scorching heat all day. We don't know how to handle it. This is completely foreign weather to us.
I'm in fear now that, like, with the rain, that we're going to become a tropical country next and we'll get a monsoon.
No, we're going to be a Mad Max type country, okay? Before you know it, we'll start ripping each other's heads off for fuel, and then we'll start, I don't know, what else do they do in
So
Mad Max?
Donegal, basically.
Yeah, basically it's Donegal.
You can recognise the place with the yellow grass out there.
Yeah.
Right, I'm also joined today in my living room by Mr. Eoghan McConnell.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm usually here.
Not in my living room, in the studio whenever we record, right? Also joined by Alex Bowes.
How's it going? I'm not usually here, really. Well, it's good to be back.
Often enough. Well, it's the thing. We are going to... Yeah, we haven't been recording very often during the summer. This is our, second summer episode?
I think so, yeah.
We'll be back in September, but today... if you're listening to this, you have already seen the title of the YouTube video and or the SoundCloud link. I don't think we've ever uploaded anything to SoundCloud in the last week, but in the last couple of months, but whatever.
We're not rappers.
Yeah, well, someday, Alex, never say never. This episode is going to be about something which we have been wanting to talk about, something that came out during the midst of exam season in Trinity, so we weren't on the air at the time. And a lot of us were also doing other exams. For example, the Leaving Cert and stuff like that.
That wasn't doing
that was last year. Oh yeah, that was last year.
We were in Rat Lines doing PLC stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Jesus,
which wasn't actually that exam.
I'm old. I forgot.
Yeah. I was trying to survive my leaving while as a mere listener back in the day.
I remember that actually. Yeah, that was last. Jesus, man, I'm getting old.
That's bad. I'm technically a mature student now.
Huh.
Back in the day when it was Wednesdays at 10 o'clock.
Wednesday at 10 on Trinity FM. The motherfucking editorial team took our spot. Anyway, I've been blueballing the listeners long enough. Today we're going to talk about Avengers Infinity War. So, this movie, which you may remember for that episode back in November, when I freaked out on air and almost gave on a heart attack.
That's right, yeah.
Remember that was the trailer was released, and then I proceeded to freak out as our intro. The movie came out in April, and we have a lot of thoughts. So the format for this is that we're going to just go through the plot of the movie, and we are then going to give our thoughts on certain plot points as we go, and then at the end give our overall impressions of what we thought, where we think the whole story is going to go, because this is, of course, part 1 of 2. I suppose we're just going to jump into it. Any initial remarks about the film?
Well, for start, you were going off on me for ages for not watching loads of Marvel films to catch up, right? But then I watched it, and it wasn't so bad, because I was basically in the same position that Bruce Banner was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but...
I was just as confused as he was, but, that was okay.
He missed Civil War, but... Okay, you can explain... I guess you can explain where Tony and Cap are at in terms of, we're just not talking to each other. But, there's so much more to it than that, you know what I mean? There's, it's literally... There is a scene in it at the beginning in Doctor Strange's gaff where Bruce... He goes, what's it? No, yeah, Tony Stark goes to him, me and Steve, we're not on speaking terms. And he's just I don't care. Yeah. There's way more to it than that. There's, the introduction of Spider-Man. There's, what else shit? Since, really the only ones you need to see are Civil War and, I guess, Black Panther.
Yeah, no, but
I haven't seen Black Panther.
You haven't seen Black Panther?
No.
What?
No, just haven't.
Okay.
I do watch
I went from staunchly watching every Marvel film, except for Thor.
I have a fully legal copy, which I can give you.
Of Thor.
What?
Of Thor.
Of Black Panther.
I might legally watch it, when I
have a chance.
When I have good enough internet,
Yeah.
And
when it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're gonna begin the plot rundown. Okay, so this film came out on
28th of
let me
April.
see, what day did it come out?
28th of April. 28th of April, I think it was.
Came out on
Sixth,
the 27th of April in the United States. 26th of April, I believe, here. And it has to date grossed $2.041 billion at the
Chump
box office.
change.
Nice.
That is a fierce amount of money. Anyway, the plot, though. I'm just going to be reading from the Wikipedia. So, having acquired the Power Stone from the planet Xandar, Thanos and his lieutenants Ebony Maw, Cull Obsidian, Proxima Midnight, Corvus Glaive, intercept a spaceship carrying the last survivors of Asgard's destruction. As they extract the Space Stone from the Tesseract, Thanos seduces Thor. No, not seduces. Subdues. Jesus Christ. Thanos subdues Thor, overpowers Hulk, and I'd watch that. Thanos subdues Thor, overpowers Hulk, and kills Loki. Heimdall sends Hulk to Earth using the Bifrost before being killed. Thanos departs with his lieutenants and obliterates the ship. Can I just say something about this opening scene?
Yeah.
I absolutely adore this opening scene. The first, so most Marvel films have like a cold open these days.
Yeah.
And then they come into the Marvel fanfare with the traditional orchestra thing that they have on top of that. This film goes straight into the fanfare, but with no fanfare.
Yeah.
It's a distress call
from
the ship that's in the end of Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And actually that distress call is read out by Kenneth Branagh.
Yeah.
The director of the original Thor, as well as a bunch of other stuff, which
Hamlet.
is vastly more significant culturally than Thor.
Yeah.
But yeah, it instantly gives you the impression that like this is not going to be a happy fun time like most.
Really sets the tone. Really sets the tone.
Yeah.
Perfectly.
Um,
I have heard somebody tell me that they don't think Loki is dead.
you don't think he's dead?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you think he's dead?
Because he didn't turn into a frost giant when he died or something like that. I don't really know. Like you're saying,
Did they do that?
he's faked his
he
death.
kind of got this kind of blue tint to him when he died.
Yeah.
Isn't that like getting choked or something? Happens when you
He
get
got choked out, yeah.
Yeah.
I do think that
It sounds like a real kinky time going on in this spaceship.
But I mean, here's the thing. I'd like to think he actually is dead because
Yeah, I mean, he has to be.
Throughout most of the film, Thor is kind of going through a state of denial where he's like, "Well, look, he's been killed before, like coming back." So like,
Are you
having a
saying?
hard time
Yeah, but no,
believing it.
Thor says at some point he's on the Guardian ship. He goes, "I think he's really dead this time."
Yeah.
Are you saying you don't want to see him come back?
No, not really.
I like the character, but it's time he died for real. Like.
Yeah.
What about Gamora? I don't think she.
I don't think
Gamora's
she'll
not
come
dead.
back.
Guardians 3 is coming.
Really?
After, yeah.
I don't know. She might come back though because she's one of the people that didn't die from the snap of the finger.
What I will say is, like, yeah,
We're okay to talk
getting a bit
spoilers,
ahead of ourselves, but like, she could be brought back in some way, which is like, she didn't technically not die. She did die, like, say, in this reality, but like, say they did a Rick and Morty type situation where they just got everybody from a different reality. Yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah. Any other comments on the Thanos versus Hulk fight at the beginning? That's actually the only appearance of Hulk in the film.
Just one thing about how people say that this is like this generation's Empire Strikes Back.
I mean,
I've heard that being said. I've heard it being said because it's such a.
That's pretty bad considering the Last Jedi ended on a downer note.
But I mean, but it's also
Last
like
Jedi's downer is way not as bad as the Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, but this one is quite serious, and it's such a big film, and it's kind of like a phenomenon, like all the things that happen in it. But the interesting thing about The Empire Strikes Back was that nobody actually died in that. So
no one died
if everyone gets retconned in this, it'd be kind of the same, where no one actually died and everything's kind of okay.
I do hope some of them are apparently dead.
We'll get onto this at the end, and I have a couple of comments from
the listeners.
Having
a few calls coming in. Talk to Joe.
No, I got some comments having seen Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh yeah.
That's right. I flew to Russia.
Yeah, you flew to America.
To America or Russia. I can't remember which. To see Ant-Man and the Wasp. But I got some comments.
Can I just theorize something for a minute? Does he come back and he's all like, "Man, that was great, Wasp. We did it. We saved the world," and then one or both of them just disappears, and that's that.
I've heard it's kind of.
We'll comment at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Or will not comment, depends. Okay, so yeah, the Thanos versus Hulk fight at the beginning is actually mad too, because it's like it's pretty much it's well established throughout all the films that like the Hulk is like the one that you cannot fuck with.
Yeah.
Like he takes no shit from nobody.
Yeah.
But yeah, he goes out like a bitch.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So,
And he's actually frightened of Thanos. Then,
yeah,
like,
he's terrified.
Yeah.
There's a lot of theories going around about why the Hulk doesn't want to come out again. The leading one is that like he doesn't want to embarrass himself by taking him on again.
Yeah.
They already got his ass handed to him once.
Yeah.
And like in the Hulk's mind, there's nothing worse than getting your ass handed to you. That's like that's like a fate worse than death.
He's just embarrassed.
Yeah.
That's- Oh my god, so all Bruce Banner needed to do to get rid of him for years and years was just lose a fight.
Yeah, that's entirely possible. Right, so Hulk gets sent back to sent to Earth by Heimdall, who also died. Rest in peace, Idris Elba. Yeah, man, no, I wish he could have hung around.
Was he like launched, like just sent like without any ship or anything, just thrown back
No,
down
he
to
sent through
Earth?
the Bifrost.
What was that again?
That was their teleportation
That's the
thing.
thing that
yeah.
Heimdall does.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you see in films like the Hulk gets like thrown down to Earth with like no.
You have to go like really fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
That shot though is actually quite cool because you see him coming over past the moon, down over New York City, and then crashing into the roof of the Sanctum Sanctorum in New York City, and he reverts to Bruce Banner. He warns Stephen Strange and Wong about Thanos' plan to kill half of the life in the universe. In response, Strange recruits Tony Stark. Maw and Obsidian arrive to retrieve the Time Stone from Strange, drawing the attention of Peter Parker. Okay, so a lot happened there. There's this confrontational scene when the Hulk arrives. He smashes through Doctor Strange's roof just as him and Wong are about to go out for lunch. Which I thought, this is the one thing I will say about this film. Like, despite being serious in tone overall, there's a lot of really good levity in it.
Yeah.
There's that scene, like that scene stands out because, yeah, Strange and Wong are going out for lunch. Strange is going out to the local deli, and he's just dressed in like regular gear, and Wong is dressed in a monk gear, and he's arguing with Wong over the fact that he has no money at all. And he goes, really wrong. You have no money at all. He goes, attachment to the physical attachment to the material is detachment from the spiritual. And he's like, well, I'm not paying for it.
You don't even have a card or something on you, like.
Anyway, then Bruce crashes through the roof of the thing, and he does this thing which is lifted straight from the comics, actually, which I like. Did you read Infinity War on?
No, I didn't.
Okay, well, actually, you get.
I didn't. No.
There's a comic, and the panel in that is which this kind of reflects is it's actually the Silver Surfer does the exact same thing, crashes through the roof of Doctor Strange's house, and tells him Thanos is coming. Literally, Thanos is coming.
Oh yeah.
So, then
I'd like to see
Tony Stark is talking about having a kid.
Wait, Tony Stark has
with
a kid?
Pepper.
With Pepper, yeah.
Wait, what? Oh, they're doing that.
Well, no, they're out on a run in like Central
He
Park.
already has a kid.
Oh, yeah.
His name's Peter.
That's right.
And then Strange teleports out to them and goes, it's Tony Stark, I need you. No, actually, it's the trope which has been a thing since Iron Man 3, where he's going, I'm telling you, Pepper, I'm out of the game for good now.
I was 2 days away from. I was 2 days away from retirement.
Here's something actually about Thanos, because I thought about Pepper being pregnant, right? This came up. When Thanos snaps his fingers, do certain pregnant women in the world just suddenly miscarry, like?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a really grim thought.
Oh.
Yeah, I wonder, like,
Grim.
are they, like, here's a big abortion thing, are they, like, technically, do you have to be born to be affected by
here's a
this or what,
question.
like?
Were they part of the original Avengers?
We can talk about this in the end.
Yeah.
In the end bit.
Yeah.
Didn't he marry
he shows
Pepper
up-
didn't he marry Pepper as like a stunt or something?
Yeah.
No, well, here's the thing. He proposed. There's this whole thing at the end of Spider-Man: Homecoming where he
Needs
set
a
up the press
distraction.
conference for Spider-Man to come out. Then Peter refuses to come out, and then he suddenly decides, you know what, we're getting married.
Is he
So
gonna
they
have
announced the marriage. I don't think they got married yet.
Is he gonna have a?
Yeah, they didn't. They haven't got married yet. But
They're
they're
engaged.
engaged at that point.
Yeah.
Gonna have a kid as a stunt as well?
Probably, yeah.
And there's some thing about that. They're talking about like baby names or something, and they throw out a name which is like their actual son in the comics.
Yeah, I'd actually love that though. Like they're gonna, if I can, if they're gonna like for Steve, like as a kind of like a say sorry present, like oh I'm gonna do this, you new suit of armor. Like Steve's like no I don't want it, and he's like oh great Pepper stop your birth control quick.
Would Peter be the Godfather?
No, Peter'd be like the cool older brother type that like, lives in a van outside. He'd be living in a van outside the Iron Man house, like coming in sometimes, like eating like fucking cold sausages or like dry Cocoa Pops, and then leaving. Like,
I feel like Steve Rogers would probably be that weirdly conservative,
uncle,
straight and narrow uncle.
Yeah,
you know,
Steve's the kind of guy who'd be slipping €50 in your pocket, like don't tell your dad and all the rest. Then Steve would be slipping like $50 notes into the kid's pocket just to annoy Tony, like. Yeah. But like, he'd be also. I often wonder, you see, the thing is about Bucky and Steve that they're very, very open-minded for men of their time.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
For people who were born in the 1910s, like.
I think that like something.
There's a lot of internet content out there discussing how Steve Rogers and Bucky would react to. Many of the things about modern society, which I'm not going to get into. You can find it if you want online. Anyway, okay, we should probably move on. So, Stranger Crew's Tony Stark. He initially doesn't want to go. He's like, "Who the hell are you?" He says, "Are you selling something? Go away." And then Bruce comes out and he goes, "Tony, you need to come." He's like, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
So. Yeah, they're talking about Thanos in the thing. Strange does the whole exposition thing going, these are the 6 Infinity Stones, and if you get all 6, you become
God.
you can become God, you become super powerful.
I also happen to be aware of
speaking of God, that line, just as Loki's dying, that's a great final line.
What did he say?
He says, as he's being choked out, it's very difficult to make out because he's getting choked.
Choke me harder, Daddy.
Mm-hmm.
Choke me harder, Daddy.
Choke me harder, Space Daddy.
What?
Fucked up. No, he says you will never be a god.
Oh yeah, that is a good line.
That's a good final line.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he's Strange talking about the 6 stones, and if you get all of them, you're super duper. And what then happens? Yeah, so
some action and
then shit goes down outside. So
Tom Von Lawler shows up. Tom Von Lawler shows up.
Actually, wait, you know what? No, we're skipping something very important.
Oh.
And that is that in the Marvel Universe, Ben and Jerry's release an Avengers line of ice creams with, Stark raving hazelnuts, and then Hunka Hulka burning fudge.
I'm just going to say that, like, considering the amount of people who have died in the Marvel Universe because of, like, events surrounding them, that's pretty fucked up, like.
Yeah.
I'd be like, here's some fucking, South Tower ice cream, like, you know, kind of bullshit, like.
Yeah.
Well, that's like, the whole point of Civil War, is try to, like, address, well, you know.
Literally, in the Marvel Universe, thousands of people have died now.
Millions,
possibly.
Probably millions.
Probably millions.
I mean, yeah. How many? Like, you know, if you start raining down debris and like alien spaceships and whatever, and like lasers and shit on like very populated blocks in New York City, what happens? Lots and lots of people. There's like how many?
I don't know if we go.
There's like 5 million people on New York or on Manhattan Island alone.
Yeah, I don't know if we go into millions, but I'd say definitely tens of thousands of people.
Even
you could start talking about stuff like. The events of the Netflix shows as well, and whatever. I don't know how many people died in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Actually, in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., like, they're now doing this time travel thing where, you know, they're in the future, 100 years in the future, and the entire world is destroyed, so everybody died. Yeah.
So, like, I mean,
why even bother?
I wonder what, like, I was very surprised we didn't have some kind of thing of, like, victims of, like, the New York event, you know, wall or something like that, you know, but that might have been too close to home.
I think they had something in Civil War.
Do they have any, like, a memorial to all the people who died in the Battle of New York? Like,
there is a memorial. At the start of, I think, the next Avengers film, there's a memorial over Grand Central Station, which is like, it's a CGI thing.
Oh yeah.
Which is just like it's a memorial to the cops and firefighters and first responders and whatever
that died in the Battle of New York. Yeah.
Huh.
And it's okay that Loki's like they're all okay with Loki now. Which is kind of fucked up.
I think he's on the.
What do you mean they're all okay with Loki? Like all the heroes or all the people on Earth?
All the heroes. I wouldn't be okay with him at all if I lived in that reality.
I don't know, are they? This is the thing, because like none of them have met Loki since then.
It's true.
Except for Bruce Banner, who when he met him was like, oh shit.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So
and Owen Thor.
They still
yeah,
kind
well,
of
Thor
talk.
is like, you know, he can't disown him. So
But
anyway,
Thor
look, we're getting
doesn't-
way off track. Though. We're getting way off
I
track.
do get the feeling sometimes Thor doesn't actually care about human lives all that much.
Well, they're
He
puny
probably
humans. They don't, you know, they're
Wasn't he taught
puny
to be
mortals and whatnot.
Wasn't he taught to be above?
Yeah, exactly. That's
mortals?
what I mean. Yeah, he doesn't really care. I think human life's quite insignificant to him, really.
Yeah.
They're quite what?
I think to Thor and Loki, human life is actually quite insignificant. Really.
Yeah, it is. That's the point. Like,
He only
it's-
hangs
it's
around with
mentioned
the
in the
super-
first Thor movie a lot. Like Odin
Yeah.
is like
He
they're worthless. You don't need to bother your time with them. Or, I don't.
He only hangs around with the super ones anyway.
Yeah, and I mean, the whole thing about him falling in love with what's her name, Angelina Jolie's character, was just kind of like
Natalie
she
Portman.
is his connection to humanity, kind of.
Wait, who?
Natalie Portman.
Yeah.
Natalie Portman,
Portman.
sorry, not Angelina Jolie. She was in a different film.
Anyway, look, we got to move
Yeah.
on, right? Because shit starts going down outside the sanctum. Doctor Strange's hair starts moving. Tony Stark goes, "What is up with that? Wow, man, your hair's moving. Are you doing that with magic?" And he's like, "Nah, man." And then they go outside, and there's a giant donut spaceship above some part of northern Manhattan, and everybody's freaking out. And it's a handheld camera shot.
Yeah.
Which sometimes I disagree with you. The Russo's brothers like to do that a lot. Like if you look at Winter Soldier, it's all handheld cameras.
Yeah.
Sometimes I disagree with it, but this particular scene is great. It works because it kind of grounds you on the street level. It's as if you're there.
Yeah.
And you look up and there's this giant donut spaceship, and Tom Von Lawler, Nidge from Love Hate, shows
Yeah.
up,
Right.
and he's like, "Hey,
I got a bone to pick with you, Tony.
Anto, come out, will you?
Shut up, Squidward.
Anto Stark, come out."
Quiet, Squidward.
Oh god. Yeah.
Yeah, he comes out. So Tom Bonner, of course, Ebony Maw, who has been a fan favorite villain actually since the film came out.
Wait, what other films has he been in?
Well, I mean, as a CG, he's
Lieutenant
just in
Van
Infinity
Snake.
War. He's only in Infinity War
is
as
he? Yeah.
in the Marvel movies, like.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it doesn't unfortunately, it doesn't look like he's coming back because that would be like.
No, he's
cool.
dead. Like you got something to space. Like.
Yeah, but he's a class actor. He could do he could have been a great villain in
Yeah, he
some
could have
other.
been. Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, Ebony Maw, who's Thanos' bitch, is his magic guy, has come to Earth to take the Soul Stone. No, not the Soul Stone. Sorry, the
Time Stone?
Time Stone from Doctor Strange.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, wizard dude, I need a Time Stone." And Strange is like, "No, man, go away."
Grew up out of that.
And then what happened? Yeah, no. So the three of them, the entire block is evacuated. Of
Yeah.
course it is. And then it's just Tony Stark, Bruce Banner, and Strange and Wong there. And Stark refers to this guy as Squidward and tells him to go home. Like
Yeah.
that got so many damn laughs in the cinema.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Like when you boil it down to its bare bones, a lot of the jokes in these movies are calling people things which they are not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
Well, it's just insulting people essentially.
yeah, basically, like
Yeah.
it happens several other times during this film,
It does.
during this film alone. Like at some point, Drax is referred to as Mr. Clean, and there's some other character as well. But like,
It's a shame they didn't.
oh yeah, no, I was gonna say Pratt, but what's his name?
Star-Lord.
Quill calls Thanos Grimace. Like he just goes, "Shut up, Grimace," or something like that.
What's Grimace a reference to?
Hmm?
What's Grimace a reference to?
Grimace is the purple McDonald's mascot guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very sad none of them actually compared him to Homer Simpson, seeing as that's what most people thought he looked like.
He looks like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I was going to say the one thing that he looks like more than anything else is just Josh Brolin. He looks like Josh Brolin. Like, and here's the thing: Josh Brolin was in the Goonies,
Yeah.
a very
yeah.
80s movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why doesn't Quill make some Goonies jokes?
And well, he would have been significantly younger in Goonies. So
Wasn't-
Quill might know what Josh Brolin looks like now.
Wasn't Quill like 10 when he was abducted?
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
He didn't have like a life.
And he would have been abducted in like 1980.
He wouldn't have had like a life.
I want to say like it's
Yeah.
He wouldn't have had like a long enough life to like absorb all of this stuff.
Yeah,
really,
and also
would
he may not have seen certain films
Yeah.
if they weren't suitable.
he has seen Footloose.
Exactly.
Have you seen Aliens?
Hang on, when did Footloose come out? Because they make
1986,
a
I
reference to Footloose.
What's a
in
kid doing watching Footloose?
It's a good film.
What's it about?
It's about like a town that
it.
outlaws
Footloose.
dancing.
Okay, so Footloose came out in 1984.
When was
And
he
you'd seen
abducted? When
that.
was Peter Quill abducted?
1980.
Tell you when was Peter
I
Quill
think
abducted?
it was like early.
Do you know what? Actually,
Yeah.
you can just look up his birthday on the
Yeah.
on the
He
Marvel.
would have been born in like the late 70s, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe in the late 60s.
No, because
I think it was mid 70s.
no, at the start of Guardians 2, the intro card is Earth 1980, I think. So he was probably born in either 1980 or 81.
Probably 81. No, wait, because the whole thing, it was kind of implied he had sex with her in 1980 there, when he was planting the plant, you know, he was like, oh, there's going to be loads of these all over Earth, and then let's get it on, by the way. And they did. So
He was born in late 1980.
Holy shit, we're getting
late
off track.
1980.
We're getting way off track,
yeah.
lads. We've been on this for ages, right? We need to get back. We need to get back on track.
That means he's seen most of the, well, when he, depending on when he was abducted, he's probably seen most of the 80s pop culture stuff, but like...
Yeah.
This is all because of Mr. Clean.
But just keep in mind, you don't develop concrete memories till
This
you're
is
about
all because
4.
of characters calling other characters things that they are not. And like, you know, if you look at Guardians 2, there's a lot of those jokes as well. Like
Yeah.
Peter, he calls people by things from Earth which they don't know about. Like,
Yeah. And I'm going to say that as well, one last thing before we get off this, you don't really develop concrete memories till you're about 4. So like,
Yeah.
Peter Quill's probably going to remember only a little bit of his time on Earth, really. At most.
hang on, when was he abducted? This
You
is going to
just
do
find
my
out.
head in
This
now.
is
I need
gonna
to find
do my
out when
head
he
in.
was
Find out
abducted.
when he was abducted, yeah.
You won't be able to sleep if you don't know.
Yeah.
Find out.
I want to say 1988.
Yeah, there's no date given on it, but it's like sometime in the late 80s.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, well, he was probably 10.
He would have
He
been
would
like
have been
a
90.
So he would have been a 90s teen.
Yeah.
Huh.
He would have been a 90s kid.
He would have been.
man.
He
Yeah.
would have been. He would have been out with. He would have been with Finto O'Connor and the techno.
O'Connor.
Yeah,
in
he
the
would
club.
have been, yeah. Oh my
Anyway, Nid shows up and he's like, Anto Stark, I'm here to fucking bait you or whatever.
Yeah.
I'll knock you around, flow
God.
out.
Will you give me the fucking song? Come on now.
Right. Anyway, yeah,
You need a
Nid
bit
shows
of
up
rock.
and so they start fighting, blah, blah, blah. It's revealed at this point that the Hulk doesn't want to come out. Bruce is having a hard time, so... Meanwhile, across town, Peter Parker is out on a field trip with the school, and he escapes to whatever
Help out, yeah.
in the Spider-Man suit, and he comes out, and it's a big old good time. Him and Stark are fighting the big rhino-looking guy, who's clearly not the Rhino, but
Oh yeah.
he looks like the Rhino. Yeah, what happens then? Let me see.
Something about the world.
Yeah, Maw captures Strange, but fails to take the Time Stone due to an enchantment on the stone. Stark and Parker pursue Maw's spaceship. Banner contacts Steve Rogers, and Wong stays behind to guard the Sanctum. Can I just say, fuck Wong, right? Because, okay, Doctor Strange gets his ass handed to him, gets knocked out, gets strangled by his own robes,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
right? And Wong is just like, and he gets abducted by the alien, and Wong is just like, alright, I'm going home. he doesn't do anything to help.
In fairness, the Sanctum comes first, would be his logic.
Aye.
There are other people, there's other sorcerers and whatnot, isn't there? They can just get, can they not just get a substitute?
One's like a second in command, so if anything happens to Strange, it falls to him next to be like commanding the entire Sanctum. Which is...
I don't agree. I think Wong is a bad friend. He should.
No, it's not about being friends, though. It's like, okay, if you're in a fucking gunfight in an army situation and your commanding officer is killed, then the next highest ranking man assumes command. That's how it works.
Does Wong use the Wi-Fi in that big kind of temple
I think
that
so.
they have?
Well,
No,
no.
that was Mordo, who's somewhere else right now. Nobody knows where he is.
Oh, yeah, whatever happened with him, yeah. There's
Yeah,
people that
he's
get paralysed
going to be the
from
villain in Doctor Strange 2, probably.
What?
Yeah,
thought he's a
there's
good
a
guy.
post-credit scene
Yeah.
where he turns evil.
Aye.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so Tony and Peter are in space. Tony sends Peter back down, but he clings onto the spaceship and he survives. He's given the Iron Spider suit first
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
which is dope.
It is.
Cool suit.
Yeah, it's cool.
And meanwhile, we get a flash down to the surface where, so Banner contacts Steve Rogers with the phone that Tony Stark got in Civil War. And we flash over to Scotland in Edinburgh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We will deep fry your kebabs.
We will deep fry
Edinburgh.
your kebab. That is the most accurate. They obviously did accurate location
It's not
scouting
deep
for this.
fried kebabs. It's deep fried Mars bars.
Well, I think they shot on location.
They'll deep fry anything in Scotland.
Yeah. I think they just shot on location there though. I think they just shot on.
It was, yeah, they did shooting in Scotland.
For a night out in Scotland though. The street was surprisingly deserted. Like.
Yeah, like you would expect
A load of fucking
some
drunks
gnarly
everywhere.
scenes that late at night on the streets of Edinburgh.
Yeah,
Americans probably wouldn't notice though. They probably
No, they
think-
wouldn't.
Oh god, no! This is the thing. They come over like
And
they do it here too. They come over here thinking it's this lovely,
Quiet,
what's it, quaint,
quaint.
Yeah.
picturesque, whatever.
Yeah.
And then they see someone get the head bait off them outside Coppers
Yeah. I was
at 2 in the morning.
I was in Ray's like 2 days ago, and I saw two lads having a big fight outside.
You were
Yeah.
where?
You know, Ray's.
Ray's Pizza.
Yeah.
Temple Bar.
Two lads just outside knocking the head
And
off.
there's a grabs a table bar all the fucking
And then
time.
after they were finished, they hugged it out.
There's two fights I know of that were great. There was once I was walking up through Temple Bar and saw a guy getting arrested by about 5 guards, and they were holding him down, handcuffing him like when he was lying face down. And as I walked by, he was just going, "I was only playing the fucking tin whistle."
Anyway, okay, yeah.
But here's
Speaking
the-
of fights, speaking
Well,
of drunken fights at 2 in the morning outside the club, in Scotland, approximate midnight, and Corvus Glaive ambush Wanda Maximoff and Vision, who are they're in hiding in Scotland. Basically after the Accords and whatnot.
I thought they were on
Vision is
honeymoon.
like developing into a full human being, which is
Yeah.
kind of messed up.
I thought they were on honeymoon.
No, well,
I thought
they were on opposite sides of the conflict.
In the Civil War.
Yeah,
No. And then, like, through the power of their love, everybody reconcile their differences.
I'm not sure. I think
Is it a Capulet-Montague situation? Is it a Capulet-Montague thing?
a what?
Capulet-Montague, you know, the two
I
houses
don't
in
know what
Romeo
that
and
is.
Juliet.
I'm not
Could be
cultured enough to know what that
you
is.
know, like that
The
film.
two houses in Romeo and Juliet.
You know that film Warm
Oh, yeah.
Bodies?
Yeah.
Maybe it's like that, except rather than a zombie, it's your man. It's a robot.
I'm not entirely sure what the situation is, but basically they're not supposed to be there. Vision has turned off his geolocator thing.
Yeah.
So they're not actually supposed to be in Scotland.
Did they pipe yet? That's what I wanted to know.
Did they what?
Did they pipe, I said.
Pipe.
Yeah.
They
Did
what?
they pipe yet?
Do
I'm
it.
trying to make that thing, I'm trying to make that thing a euphemism, yeah.
Doc.
Now, I'm really uncomfortable with this whole Vision Scarlet Witch thing. It's incredibly messed up. It's more messed up than the droid stuff in Solo.
Is it though?
Yeah, because Vision is like,
Is it though?
he doesn't
I do
have
the
a
Thor thing
penis.
now.
It's
Is
like,
it
it's
though?
very messed up. It's like,
Is it
he's
Tony?
not supposed to be a human.
Is it
It's like,
Tony
he's
Stark's-
Jarvis. He's Jarvis.
Is,
Like,
is it Tony Stark's fault for making this
Is it,
happen?
did Tony Stark give him some kind of bionic...
Maybe just-
implant
well,
to be
they
able
they
to
dive a bit into
pipe
what
Wanda?
Vision is
Maybe
later
they-
on in the film.
Maybe
Yeah.
you just programmed him to be too charming.
Yeah, probably.
He's the least charming character of all of them.
But he's very,
Still-
very
still
good
too-
looking.
still-
He's very handsome, in fairness.
He's got that Agent 47.
He just looks like a robot. Like,
No, I mean in his human form, like where he's got the blonde hair and all. And he's
oh yeah, well he just looks like Paul Bettany. Yeah. Also, apparently Vision can morph into Paul Bettany. So
maybe that's what Wanda asked.
I
Tony to
guarantee
do.
you they only put that in because Paul Bettany was like, I'm not sitting in a makeup chair for 6 hours
That's
every
fair
day.
enough,
Like,
yeah. But I wonder if, like, Wanda in universe, Wanda was saying to Tony, "Hey, make him look like Paul Bettany, would you?"
Okay, wait. Okay, so where are we at now? Okay.
Edinburgh.
We got to move on. Corvus Glaive and Proxima Midnight ambush Wanda Maximoff and Vision in order to retrieve the Mind Stone from Vision's forehead. Rogers, Natasha, and Natasha Romanoff and Sam Wilson, the Secret Avengers, rescue them and take shelter with James Rhodes and Banner at the Avengers compound. So they apparently fly from Edinburgh to upstate New York in about 30 minutes. Okay, movie. Well, I mean, okay, look.
Oh, well, in fact, it was night time in Edinburgh and it was daytime when they got there, so a couple of hours later.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, maybe.
Here's the thing, though. If that was a real life fight in Edinburgh, there'd be like so much fucking stuff on Scottish Twitter the next day like, about it like that. Like at 2 a.m, I'm after seeing a fucking robot and aliens getting into a scrap. Like, you know.
This is the thing, yeah. There's a lot of weird
Still
stuff
not
going on,
the-
but like, there's no kind of massive scale stuff happening on
Still
Earth
not the
except for
weirdest thing I saw.
Yeah.
Here, right. So the most important thing about that scene, though, is that we got a really good insight into Scottish culture. In that they're standing outside a chip shop, and in the window of the chip shop, there's a sign which says "We will deep fry your kebab," and it's a Scottish flag on that thing there.
It's probably a chip shop called like.
Truly, they deserve to be their own nation.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
This is Yeah,
Probably a
I
chip
mean-
shop called Wong's or something, and stuff like that.
Okay. Then they are confronted at the compound by Thunderbolt Ross, who's a hologram.
Oh, is that your man from the Hulk?
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
but he's the Secretary of State now.
He's the first crossover kind of between like Universal and
Yeah, it
Marvel,
was weird.
which is
He
kinda
he
weird.
first appeared in Civil War after that as the Secretary of
Yeah.
State, and not just like some generic jarhead
Yeah.
army general
yeah,
guy.
he's back. Yeah, that guy. And he's all like,
But he appears and he's like, "We're gonna send people to arrest you guys because you broke the law." And it's like, man, the universe is ending.
literally, fuck you. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
this is the thing. It's the same reason I'm angry at Tony and Steve, like, for not talking. Like, literally, this is, for God's sake, if the second Americans and Russians could work together in World War II, then you could fucking work together to stop Thanos. Fucking idiot.
We also get this reunion between Bruce Banner and Black Widow.
Which was awkward as fuck.
It was awkward and
Wait, what happened?
weird.
What happened
Although, what?
What happened again?
They piped.
Well, they were
and then he
a
got-
thing, and then Bruce Banner goes off into space for 2 years. Like, you know.
Yeah, pipe and vape, like, I don't know what the word is for.
So, what, there was going to be a thing when he was there and then he left?
Well, he didn't leave. The Hulk left, and he was like trapped for 2 years. In Bruce Banner's mind, he's just back from the events of Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
So like it's been non-stop for him. It's like he's had a hell of a week.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, in fact, like, this is why I like not having seen all the rest of them, that, like, I just feel like him, like...
Yeah.
It was awkward, but yeah, I don't know. They might do something with it in the next film because they didn't actually get like time to.
Yeah,
Talk to each other.
in fairness to that scene, it was meant to be awkward.
Yeah, the thing is, there could be. There's rumors that there's going to be an hour of deleted footage on the Blu-ray, so there could be a scene between them on the Blu-ray,
Maybe.
which will be interesting to see. Anyway, yeah. Meanwhile, we flash out to space, and the Guardians of the Galaxy are responding to a distress call, which we're not sure what it's from, but it later appears to be from the Asgardian ship, and they rescue Thor, who surmises that Thanos seeks the Reality Stone, which is in the possession of the Collector on Nowhere. Nowhere. Yeah.
Nowhere.
This dynamic between Thor and the Guardians is brilliant. I absolutely they could have picked any other way to introduce the Guardians, but I think they really hit it out of the park with particularly the dynamic between him and Peter Quill.
Yeah.
It's very, very funny. It's just like he's kind of so Quill is like portrayed as he's very jealous of Thor, and yeah, it's very funny. What else happens there? Yeah, this plot synopsis is very, very like concise. So, anything you want to say about this whole scene with them on the Guardians ship?
I feel like we have so much to get through still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, we know we're about halfway there.
Okay, so there, I don't really know. This scene wasn't all that remarkable. Like, it was just kind of advancing the plot, so to speak.
Yeah.
Tom Holland gets sucked into space and he was gone too soon.
Well, no, that's significantly later.
Wait, you were thinking of
this is a scene with Thor and the Guardians.
Oh
The
yeah,
Guardians
some
rescue
good
Thor.
dialogue.
Yeah.
Some good dialogue.
funny,
I do like how Thor gets on well with Rocket, and
Yeah.
that he's kind of upstaging Quill. I quite like that.
Yeah.
As well.
Like they bring him in the
Yeah.
ship, they put him down on the table, and
Yeah.
Drax is like, he looks like a pirate at a baby. He looked like a space pirate or something like that.
Yeah, so,
He looks like a space pirate at a baby with an angel.
Yeah, it's like, well, yeah. And
And then they have it reminds me a lot of like Tarantino dialogue. You know the way it's just like Tarantino dialogue is very kind of
yeah.
like snappy and short and witty
Yeah.
and just a lot of
I'll just say that it's very obvious from that line. Like, Drax is just an enormous bisexual. Like,
really.
probably.
We'll find out, I
typed
guess.
Thor.
Well, I'm sure there's fan fiction out there for anybody
Oh,
who
yeah,
wants.
Sounds like you really had to think about that line when he was staring down
He's all that. I mean,
at Chris Hemsworth.
What was I going to say? There's other, yeah. So what I also like about the scene is like Thor is kind of established. He's more established as that character. Or he's more established as the Thor that is from Ragnarok. So Thor from every other film before Ragnarok is just like this dude from this alien planet, and he's totally absorbed in this alien culture, and
Yeah.
that's like all he does.
Yeah.
But in Ragnarok, he's kind of revealed to be this more knowledgeable about the entire galaxy out there.
Thor Ragnarok is about like a guy like going around at a music festival and suddenly he's transported to like some kind of dystopian 80s thing, like where he has
But
to...
he knows like different space cultures and whatever. Like he knows where he is. He knows like whatever. And he does this a lot. He mentioned, this is what I was going to say about the scene with him on the ship. We then find out like he has known about the Collector. He's known about a place like Nowhere, Xandar, or whatever. Like he's not just lived his entire life inside a bubble in Asgard.
Yeah.
He's like
been around
the connection between Earth and the extended galaxy.
Yeah.
Which I think is very cool. And like he's on the same level as the Guardians and that. He can talk to them on the same level as that. Like
So
like he says, we need to go here. We need to do this. We need to like.
It's kind of like if I woke up in London, I'd get on okay, but if I woke up the next day in Saudi Arabia, I'd be a bit confused, like, and all the rest. Yeah.
Anyway, he dictates to the Guardians that he's going to go to Nidavellir, which is a space forge, the birthplace of his hammer.
Yeah.
And he also dictates to the Guardians that he's going to be stealing their escape pod. And he's like, this is one of my favourite scenes where he goes, I'm commandeering your pod. And then Quill goes, he like coughs and he like deepens his voice and he goes, no you're not. His whole like 2.5 minute bit about how Quill is deepening his voice to seem more intimidating. Yeah.
I mean, like, I just love how insecure he is, really. He's literally a fucking kid in an adult's body, like.
Right. So the Guardians split up. Half of them go to Nowhere, and then Thor, Rocket, and Groot go. Is it just Thor, Rocket, and Groot? They go to the Space Forge, and the rest of them go to Nowhere to try and stop Thanos.
No, Drax heads with the rest of them.
Oh yeah.
He gets turned into bubbles at one point.
Oh, yeah.
Then for some reason, then following that scene, they for some reason decide to put in another 3-minute bit with the Guardians, which is just, it doesn't serve the plot, it doesn't do anything. It's just a bit.
It's character development. It's character development.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it goes on a bit long. It's like this whole bit with there's this scene between Gamora and Quill, which does have plot development and character development, where Gamora asks Quill to kill her if Thanos ever gets her. Yeah. And he agrees. And then it's followed that Drax has been standing there for about 10 minutes, just standing there so they didn't see him. And then they're like, dude, what have you been standing there for? How long have you been standing there? He goes, like, about an hour. Like, an hour?
When you heard Gamora say, oh yeah, like, kill me if this happens, like, did you just kind of start suspecting that she was going to die, or did you just kind of go,
Well, pretty much. It's very much foreshadowed, or like
it's a bit on the nose,
telegraphed. Where are we at here? Rocket and Groot accompany Thor to Nidavellir, where they find Eitri, and where they find Eitri, who is a character, he's a dwarf played by Peter Dinklage, who's also 10 feet tall, which is like very kind of I think the character of Eitri is...
He was good. Like.
He's good, interesting, because...
Are they called dwarves in...
Yeah, they're called the dwarves, like.
That's where the whole...
But he's not really he's not a dwarf. He's not a dwarf.
No, yeah, he's 10 feet tall, but this is what the dwarves are in the...
He does have the proportions of a dwarf.
Yeah.
And that's where the dwarf myth does originate.
What does a dwarf mean to Asgardians?
I like this introduction to this planet because it kind of it expands on its world building. It's like, well, you know, there was the old line of like Thor's hammer is forged in the heart of a dying star and whatever and all that. Then we get to see that, and we get to see that this is where they made the Infinity Gauntlet as well, and this is where they're going to make Thor's new kick-ass weapon. Mm-hmm. So they meet him, and then they find out that all the dwarves have been killed by Thanos, and he forced them to make the Infinity Gauntlet.
He got an axe, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
He creates an axe with, or an axe capable of killing Thanos.
He's literally Kratos. He's literally Kratos from the new God of War.
Yeah, it's a very similar axe and everything. Like,
does it even come back and all? Like,
it does, yeah.
Yeah. He actually, he fucks it like 2 miles and then brings it back like at some point.
Yeah.
On Nowhere, Peter Quill, Gamora, Drax, and Mantis find Thanos with the Reality Stone already in his possession. Well, actually, that's a bit of we're jumping the shark a bit there, because they arrive and it seems like he hasn't got it. It seems like he's interrogating the Collector. Poor Benicio del Toro, man.
Yeah.
They should have, like, he's such a wasted actor.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
They could have used him, like,
I hope he comes
significantly
back
more.
in the next Star Wars.
Hmm?
I hope he comes back in the next Star Wars.
They'll probably reverse it somehow. He'll be back in the next Guardians somehow. Like, I want to see a scene between him and Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Because there's rumors of it happening, because at the I think it's at Disneyland in LA, the old Tower of Terror.
Yeah.
They've gotten rid of that.
Oh, have they?
Yeah, and they replaced it with the Guardians of the Galaxy ride. But in the queue, you know the way, like, in the queue they have, like, themed stuff and like whatever going on. But in the queue there's a portrait of Benicio del Toro's Collector and the Grandmaster playing a game of chess together.
Oh, nice.
So there's rumors that, like, this will be a scene eventually. And
Oh, I
all
hope
that
so.
stuff.
That'd be great.
The Collector. Oh, is he the guy that has Howard the Duck?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, what happened to Howard the Duck?
Did he get evaporated like when
He might have.
Thanos
Yeah, last
started?
time we saw him was in Guardians 2. He's in Guardians 2.
Yeah.
But
I keep thinking there's so many fucking like people that may have died like at this time. Like.
yeah, lots of people.
I guess you just have to see the new film to find out.
Yeah.
Go to didthanoskill.me
Yeah.
and find out did Thanos kill you.
he did kill me.
he spared me,
Yeah.
I didn't
so
really
I'm
find
still
out.
here.
If I did Thanos kill that, I mean, just type that. Did Thanos kill Alex?
Oh yeah, just a quick side note. I want to talk about this quickly. Have you guys seen the whole drama with the subreddit? Did Thanos did nothing wrong? It's brilliant. It's this subreddit where, like, it's Thanos worshipping.
Yeah.
Where, like, everybody's like, oh, we need to sacrifice everybody for the good of, like, whatever. Like, you know, it's this whole thing about Thanos. But they reached 1 million subscribers or something recently, and then they decided somebody decided to ban half of the members who subscribed. This is brilliant. Yeah, it's a thing because Joe and Anthony Russo are, like, big Reddit people. Like, they love browsing Reddit. So one day, Joe Russo posted a video that he got Josh Brolin to do of him snapping his fingers. He goes, all right, Reddit. And he snapped his fingers, right?
Yes.
So then they did a ban. And what I love about it was, so 500,000 people were banned or whatever.
Yeah.
But what I love about it was one of the Russo brothers was banned and the other one wasn't.
Oh, fantastic.
Brilliant, yeah. So then there's like, oh yeah, it's brilliant. Just check it out. Check out reddit.com/Thanos did nothing wrong.
Slain.
Yeah, got killed.
I was slain.
He got you? Oh no.
A friend of mine.
Well, you're contributing to the balance. Anyway.
A friend of mine. She was spared, but her entire family died.
Oh, jeez, that's rough.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, guys, we are at Nowhere. It seems as though Thanos doesn't have the Reality Stone, but then it turns out that he does. He turns Drax into, like, Lego blocks. He turns Mantis into, like, springy stuff. Then proceeds to kidnap Gamora.
Yeah. Oh, he turns Chris Pratt. He turns Star-Lord's gun into bubbles.
Wait a minute. Does Thanos know what slingy stuff and bubbles are?
He might have similar toys on his own home planet.
Was he playing with them as a kid, do you think?
Probably.
It's telegraphed earlier on that, so Gamora goes, I know something that he needs to know, like, way earlier on, which is like, if anybody who's been following any of the movies will know that that's the location of the Soul Stone. So yeah, he kidnaps her to find out where the Soul Stone is.
And he
And
tortures,
then-
what's her name? Karen Gillan's character.
Nebula.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So he does this thing which he does several times during the film, which not sure do I agree with. Like, he wants to get some information or something from somebody, and the person is like, no, I'm not going to do it. And then he proceeds to minorly inconvenience somebody close to that character, and then the person's like, okay, I'll give it to you.
I'm not sure. He was properly fucking torturing Nebula. I'm not
Yeah,
sure it was a
but,
minor
like-
inconvenience.
Okay. The other time when he does it is right at the start with Thor and Loki. So he's talking to Loki and he's going, give me the Tesseract, and he's like, nah. And then he goes, I'm gonna kill your brother. He's like, okay, do it. And he just starts hurting him. He goes, all right, I'll do it. What?
See, and what
It seems like it's way easier for him to get the
what
stuff.
I was wondering is why wasn't Gamora frantically searching for a way to kill herself?
Yeah.
It kind
Literally
of takes a
airlock
lot.
herself out of
It
the
would
ship.
take a lot for you to try and do that, though, wouldn't it?
Literally go for one of the guards' guns and hopefully he shoots you by accident.
You'd probably be looking for a
That's
way
a good
to
point. Yeah,
get
there's a
out
lot of
without
plot
dying
holes
or
in it,
Yeah,
but it's
I mean,
a fun comic book
you
superhero
can
movie.
kind of say, look, in fairness, even if she didn't actually kill herself, Thanos could probably reverse it.
Could
he
he
do it
well, he
at
didn't
that
have time at that point.
Oh no, he didn't. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
I don't think anyone.
Well, he probably would have just went and got the time one and then reversed it.
Yeah, it would have slowed him down certainly.
Yeah.
Would he die from like a bullet to the head?
No, probably. Well,
He's got a big head.
well
so-
I don't know. Could human weapons kill him?
Just shooting in the head.
Well, he's just an alien, like, so
Sure,
maybe.
yeah, maybe he could
Sniper.
actually. Yeah. Certainly.
Anyway, look, we
Yeah.
got to move on. We still have about half the film, right? So come on. Yeah, she tortures basically. Yeah, okay. I'm not sure if we're out of order here, but the thing is, there's no specific like timeline for this movie because you're jumping between different scenes, and it's like it's a vignette type film. What happens is then he tortures Nebula until Gamora tells him where the Soul Stone is, and then they go off to this planet called Vormir, which looks like a dope ass planet. It looks very cool.
Yeah.
And
Red Skull's there.
Red Skull is there. Man, when I saw that in the cinema, I was like, oh my god, no fucking way. There was rumours that he was going to be back in some capacity.
Yeah.
How old
But-
is he in that again?
90 something.
How old is he in?
Well,
He's
I think
in his
age doesn't apply to him. You mean the character, or do you mean the actor?
I mean, the character.
He's in his
He would be something like, say he's like 30 in 1945. He'd be how old? Like
He's cut in his hundreds.
he in
would have been
100
born
something,
then.
but I don't think age
I think
applies
he'd have
to
been
him.
born in the 1890s.
Was he like trapped in limbo or something?
not entirely sure what
No, I think what he mentioned something about. He says a lifetime ago I sought the power of the stones as well, and whatever, and
Yeah.
I got punished or something like that. So maybe he's immortal now or something. I don't know.
I think so. Here, I'm going to look up how old was Red Skull. So, anyway, keep going.
I would.
He's not played by Hugo Weaving because Hugo Weaving.
What?
No, he was played by a guy doing an impression of a German accent. So, yeah.
Red Skull's Italian, isn't it?
What?
Isn't Red Skull Italian?
Like he's a proper Nazi. I thought he was German.
No, but like Red Skull.
I thought he's German.
Born. Let me see.
Red Skull, Marvel Cinematic Universe wiki. Hang on, have a look now.
Yeah, it doesn't give an age for him.
His real name's Johann Schmidt. Never mind, he's German.
Yeah.
Yeah, the wiki doesn't give an age for him, so I don't know.
Well, we're getting off topic.
Anyway, yeah. So he was.
We should have like a safe word that. We should have a safe word that like brings us back to the.
The safe word is. I'm trying to think of a Marvel related one.
Soul Stone.
Stark Raven Hazelnuts. Let's just do that.
Yeah, that's good.
Or hazelnuts. Right. Okay. Yeah. Where are we at? Sorry. So yeah, Red Skull is there, and then he brings Thanos and Gamora up to the top, and he goes, "You who seeks the Soul Stone, blah 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 blah. You must. It extracts a terrible price." And at this point, the audience is going, she's gonna die, haha. Right. But for some reason, they don't. Neither of them pick up on that, which is just like, come on, man. Like, what else could it be? Turns out, Hugo Weaving tells him you have to sacrifice something you love to get the Soul Stone.
What if he sacrificed?
And Gamora is like, you never loved anything. And then he's like, I'm crying and all that because I love you. And then he throws her off the ledge. And she's like, oh, shit.
What if he sacrificed?
Literally, I can't believe Gamora didn't see that bullshit. I can't believe Gamora didn't see that shit coming.
What if he sacrificed the gauntlet to get the stone?
But if I was Gamora, like I'd see Thanos breaking down and be like, "Oh, I fucking might as well just jump off myself for fuck's sake!" Like, you knew, like,
Like, oh, shit. Anyway, yeah. So then Thanos, he wakes up 2 miles away in a lake somewhere with the Soul Stone in his hand. So yeah, now we know why the Soul Stone wasn't like shown off in any other films. There was rumors that it was going to be in Black Panther and all that, but nah. I wasn't disappointed with how it was introduced because I was like, are they really going to just introduce it in the film itself? How good can that be? But yeah, no, that was a good way to introduce it. Then, Nebula escapes captivity and asks the remaining Guardians to meet her on Thanos' destroyed homeworld, Titan. Stark and Parker kill Maw and rescue Strange. Landing on Titan, Yeah, actually, just before we get onto that, I like the conversation between Strange and Tony Stark because they're the same guy. They're the same guy with the same like really strong personality, and they clash off each other. It's brilliant. Yeah. And I love there's these like
Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Oh.
there's these jokes going around on Facebook, whatever, with like you know that line from the trailer where Strange introduced himself to Peter Parker.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm Spider-Man. He's like, I'm Doctor Strange. Oh, we're using made-up names. Oh, yeah, Peter. Made-up names, right? And he goes, oh, then I'm Spider-Man. He's like, listen up, you little shit. I'm an actual doctor. Yeah. Although Stark does throws a bit of shade at him.
Yeah.
In his final like bit of confrontation at him, he goes, "Do you concur, Doctor?" And he's like, "You think you're you think you're the shit, but no, I'm the shit." Like, I want to see more interaction.
I really want to see an Iron Man or Doctor Strange film where the two of them are just.
They have to accomplish something like they couldn't accomplish something like completely trivial without having a massive argument.
It would be
over
so
it.
good. Like I would literally love to see some kind of thing where they've got one other Marvel hero, maybe Pepper or something like that, like going, guys, come on, we got to do something. The whole place is coming down around our ears, and they're literally just standing there arguing with each other,
over something
arguing.
ridiculous.
Well, there's lots of monsters advancing on them or something. I don't know.
Okay, so they land on Titan, and Stark and Parker kill Maw and rescue Strange. Landing on Titan, they meet Quill, Drax, and Mantis. This is cool because they, of course, think that they are. So they fight when they first meet because they're not sure who's loyal to who. And then how do they? Yeah, no. The reason they know. The reason that the Avengers find out that the Guardians are on the good side is because Quill makes some quip about Strange goes, "What master do you serve?" He goes, "What am I supposed to say, Jesus?" And then Stark is like, "Wait, you're from Earth?" Like that's the way they find out, really.
Yeah.
Did you ever notice there aren't any like really like ugly Avengers? They're all like, even if they're aliens, they're kind of alright looking. Like you don't get
Benedict Cumberbatch is a strange looking individual.
Yeah, but you don't know. I mean, like you don't get anyone that looks like your man who was Squidward. You know, you don't get like, I just want to be good, like, but his face is
That's a
truthful.
good point. Like, yeah, they're all handsome looking aliens. This is a problem with Disney and like a lot of fiction in general. Is that
Is your problem the aliens are handsome or that the Avengers are handsome?
Like even the ones
A
that
bit of
are
everything.
aliens.
What?
Even the ones that are aliens, like you wouldn't go like their faces aren't out to here. But,
Well,
like, you're
Dave
like,
Bautista is he's in shape.
Yeah.
But he's got a strange looking head.
He has big eyes. He has big bright eyes.
Generally, in most works of fiction,
Yeah.
your heroes tend to be good looking if they're going to be sympathetic,
Yeah.
and vice versa.
You don't have like
Because we're pretty horrible people, and deep down in that primitive psyche, we've got this kind of disdain for ugly people.
you remember your man, like I can't remember his name except Squidward.
Yeah, Ebony Maw. Well, like he's a
was
proper
an
alien.
Avenger. Imagine he was like, I wanna be one of the good guys.
They'd still
He
insult
could
him
be,
anyway.
isn't he? He could be a stunner on his world. You don't know.
In fairness, even if he was an Avenger, they'd still insult his looks anyway, because they just insult each other habitually over anything they can.
That'd turn him evil.
Also, are you mocking Squidward's appearance? Because Squidward is a handsome squid. I'll have you know. I don't know.
He made a good dancer.
Well, you see, all the squids in SpongeBob look all the same. So
Shut up, you mediocre clarinet player.
mediocre. Yeah, right. Okay, where are we at? Shit. Okay, yeah, they fight and then they decide
Quill
to.
ruins it.
Huh?
Quill fucks it up.
He does.
No. Well, we're getting to that. They make a plan. Strange does the thing where he warps himself into the future. He sees 14,605 outcomes, where apparently they win one of them. This is a very important line of dialogue.
What is this? A Paddy Power bet?
Hmm?
Should have a crickets like thing, in the back. Should have like a little thing. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You should radio back to Earth and get him to put a few bob on the World Cup final.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they see one in which Thanos loses. Thanos arrives, justifying his plans as necessary to ensure the survival of the universe threatened by overpopulation. Okay, this is where we reach a lot of the plot holes which people have been pointing out. Okay, so Thanos, with the Infinity Gauntlet, could just make more resources.
Yeah.
Or he could just the problem with the snap is like, well, does he kill, like, trees are alive and they're resources? Do you kill the trees?
Yeah.
Do you kill the gut microbes and stuff in people? Because that would mess people up.
Inside women that are pregnant, are they like the life that's going to get wiped out?
I don't know the details of it. I don't think Marvel are ever going to address the
No, they're
details
not.
of it, because if you do that, then it's
I
becomes a
did
problem.
finally read a big thing about what Thanos should have done. What he should have done was just granted completely unfailable birth control. That literally any person who decides to have sex anywhere in the world can literally just fucking turn off being fertile.
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
You could have done that with a glove as well.
Literally,
There was a movie
Yeah.
with Matt Damon that came out recently called Downsizing. I think the plot was like
Oh, plots are you shrink people down to save resources.
Yeah, shrink people down, and then everyone lives in tiny little towns and stuff for small people.
That'd be messed up. Like, you can't go on holiday then.
Go to tiny towns.
yeah.
You can't. You can go, but like, it's only if you want to go to France. It's like a 7-hour flight. It's a tiny plane.
well, unless you like you get on the big people plane, but like
you get on a big people plane in the overhead cabin.
yeah, exactly, yeah, and you just spend the flight like
Yeah, but then when you get there, everything's huge. Like, do they construct a small France as well? Like, what do they do?
it would probably depend. Maybe be like you go to Legoland, but you just hang out in like the little mini Wonderland thing where they like build big cities without a Lego.
Yeah, I would never sign up for that. I'd be like, nah.
Start
Anyway,
grabbing
look, guys, we're
hazelnuts.
getting way off topic. Thanos could have done that. He could have shrunk the universe
Yeah.
and made everything else big. Anyway, the group subdues him. I got to write this name. Until Nebula decides that until Nebula deduces that Thanos has killed Gamora. Enraged, Peter Quill attacks him, allowing Thanos to break the group's hold and overpower him. Stark is seriously wounded by Thanos. Actually, yeah, we're jumping through some great scenes there. So,
Yeah.
they get him. Mantis hops on his head, and they try to like get him to, like, get him in a state where they can get the glove off.
And they would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for that fucking Peter Quill.
Peter Quill is a goddamn bonehead.
He is.
He is way too
just
hot-headed. He has the
stupid.
emotional intelligence of a 10-year-old, apparently. So,
He really. This is what I'm saying. He's a kid in an adult's
Yeah.
body.
well, he never really grew up. That's the thing, because he didn't have like a traditional family, so to speak. He had like a group of pirates, space pirates.
In fairness, they did kind of establish throughout the other Guardians films that he has very little in the way of self-control. Like,
I think he had the kind of, I guess, what kids would want to have as their way of growing up, like getting away and
Yeah.
going on adventures and stuff. So he never had to face like a reality where he has to be mature. And
yeah, exactly. But
Yeah.
literally, if he just held out for a couple more seconds, they could have got the gauntlet.
They could have got the glove off,
And then
and
he
the
could have smashed
universe
his
would be
face in.
saved.
Yeah.
Although the point, which a lot of people have been making, which I would be inclined to agree with, is why didn't Strange interfere? If maybe this is the one outcome.
Yeah.
That somehow they win.
even instead
end.
of
Like, oh my god, I love that. Like, in literally only one of 14 million realities. It's only one where you.
Also,
excite
14
that
million
stuff.
is nothing by comparison to the number of outcomes he could have.
That's
Like,
true.
there's a lot.
I mean, I'd actually love if like the one where they win is like Thanos fucking slips and breaks his neck or something like that.
It's like, oh shit, oh god, my arm. And he breaks his hand.
Yeah,
He can't
he
snap.
slips.
he slips in the shower or something.
Yeah.
It's the one where he.
Thanos
he-
is about to throw Gamora and he slips on a rock and falls.
Yeah, there's a shit like that.
It's one where the spark plugs in his car, or his battery was flat in his car that morning. He didn't get out. He couldn't get away from home.
It's literally just his species version of sudden adult death syndrome. He just has a sudden brain hemorrhage or a cardiac arrest, and that's it.
Okay. Anyway, so Stark. Yeah. Then following that, they jump into another action scene. All the choreography is great because I really like the way. You have different characters with different abilities, and they're each used in fantastic ways, similar to like the first Avengers film.
Yeah.
You have them teaming up in whatever way, like you'd have Stark blasting Cap's shield and him like
It's
like
reflecting
poetry.
and
There was
like
one
that.
thing I didn't like about that fight, and that was they got Wanda Maximoff, Natasha Romanoff, and your one Midnight.
Wait, no,
fighting.
I'm talking about
All the
on
women?
Titan.
Yeah.
This is on Titan.
Oh, this is on Titan.
So,
this is the Titan fight still. Sorry.
It's like
Sorry,
poetry, it rhymes.
What?
It's like poetry. It rhymes.
This is still the fight on Titan. Yeah.
I like there's like, so Strange is like helping people out with the portals, and Spider-Man is doing stuff with the webs.
It's like they rehearsed it almost.
Yeah.
Almost like it's entirely choreographed. Yeah, but then in the end,
could you not imagine them like in a realistic one where they're like, "Get the fuck out of my way! I'm trying to swing across."
Thanos takes it up to 11 by throwing a moon at them, and then following that, Stark confronts him one-on-one, mano a mano.
Yeah.
And then
he gets his ass kicked. He gets his ass kicked.
He gets his ass. No, he doesn't get his ass kicked. He can hold his own for a bit.
Then he gets
but then he gets his ass kicked. But what I like is the dialogue, which is interesting. We'll probably find out more about this in the next one. He goes, what does he say? Yeah, so he lands in front of him in the Iron Man suit and he goes, you throw another planet at me and I'm going to get pissed off. And then he goes, Stark. And then he goes, you know me. And he goes, I do. You're not the only one cursed with knowledge. How do you interpret that? Does he know him because he's the guy who nuked his army in the first Avengers film? Or does he know him because he's had him on his radar?
I think someone came back from Earth being like, some crazy guy in a red and yellow suit is blowing up all our soldiers and stuff.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. Thanos
could be that, or it could be like...
Maybe he just says that.
Isn't Thanos almost omnipotent by this point, though? Isn't he almost omnipotent by this point? Like,
he is, yeah. So some people have interpreted that as well, because he has a soul stone. He can recognize everybody. He knows.
Is it omnipotent or omnipotent?
Omnipotent.
Yep.
I was saying omnipotent.
Yeah, it's omnipotent.
I was saying omnipotent.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, man. When you go to a Catholic school, you learn the three things. What was it like? Omnipotence, omniscience, and omnibenevolence. Junior cert religion. Had it drilled into my head.
Omnivolence.
Yeah.
Omnivolence.
Omnibenevolent. Try telling a 15-year-old how to pronounce that. I couldn't pronounce that. I probably spelled it wrong. I got a B in religion on junior cert, which was like, what? Probably because I misspelled that, and the guy was like, nah. Right. Anyway. Then Stark gets stabbed with a piece of his own armor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Damn.
That's fucked up.
Someone behind me in the cinema gasped. They went like, and I was like, he's gonna be fine. He's gonna be grand.
It's not the first time his own tech has come to bite him in the ass.
That's true.
Yeah, but he's always been able to engineer his way out of it.
He nearly got his face broken by his mask once. He nearly got his face broken by his mask once.
Yeah. Well, he hasn't got like properly fucked up by something before, but he's not going to be able to engineer his way out of this one.
Or will he?
Yeah, Stark is about to die, and then Strange shouts over. So Thanos is about to end him with a Power Stone, give him a blast to the face with a Power Stone.
Yeah.
And then Strange goes, "Wait, stop!" and then he gives him the Time Stone in exchange for Stark's life. And then everybody in the theater is like, nah, man, don't do that, nah.
Yeah, like literally, for God's sake, literally one man's life does not measure up to the untold.
What if
billions.
he's key to surviving? What if, and this is what I'm going to say this after all this. Yeah. Okay. Look, I'm not gonna get into it.
Why didn't Strange use the Time Stone to like rewind? So
he could have, and actually, there are several points during the fight where he tries to, and then Thanos stops him. Because he needs to do the whole finger thing, that is apparently that whole finger thing is like that's an actual form of like dance that people do, and Benedict Cumberbatch got trained by some rapper in how to dance with his fingers. Yeah.
How come you don't see Thanos going like?
How come Thanos doesn't have to do that?
Yeah.
Probably because he's got the glove. I don't know. Anyway, so then Thanos is like, "I'm out, bitches," and then he goes back to Earth. Meanwhile, in Wakanda, Rogers reunites with Bucky Barnes before Thanos' army arrives. So Bucky and the Secret Avengers, Bucky Barnes and Black Panther all team up to... Who is that? Never mind, sorry. Bucky Barnes and the Avengers... Yeah, so the Secret Avengers and all them team up to... I think it was just somebody delivering a leaflet. Anyway.
I just heard someone come in there. I just heard someone come in there.
It's probably my brother, actually. I never. Right, so, Bucky, the Secret Avengers and all them team up with Bucky Barnes and and Black Panther and the entire Wakandan army, who for some reason go at the aliens with spears and stuff.
Yeah, they don't take it.
Like, they have all this really cool technology and they decide to go at them with spears. Like, why?
You know, I'm just gonna say, like, even with all the weird resource they have, if Europeans had stumbled on them in the 19th century, they'd still be pretty fucked, I'd say.
I'm not going to get into that. So they're gearing up for this showdown between
the Wakandans.
Really?
I'd say so. I'd say so, but we'll not get into that.
They're gearing up for this showdown with all of Thanos' army, with Proxima Midnight and Corvus Glaive, I want to say. I don't know.
Here's the thing. We get another fucking girl fight.
We get a what?
Girl fight. Two girls going up against the villain girl, you know? And I'm really fucking sick of seeing that in action.
Scarlet Witch and Black Widow versus Proxima Midnight. Proxima Midnight is the most forgettable damn character in this movie.
That's what I mean. But like, literally.
Exactly. Yeah.
But why do they... I'm so sick of seeing an action film. Like, I really thought we've moved on now from having all the girl characters team up to fight one girl while the lads are going at against each other. Like, I really thought...
Oh, the lads
we were finished with that, like, you know?
There's rumours, actually. They've got a director...
You can
the Black Widow movie now.
Yeah, you should expect that when we're getting a Black Widow movie. You know?
But it's not even that. It should be. Often you'll see female heroes fighting a male villain, but you'll very rarely see a male hero fighting a female villain.
Yeah. What?
You'll often see male heroes fighting male heroes and female heroes fighting male villains. You'll rarely see a male hero fight a female villain.
Thor Ragnarok.
Write an angry, barely coherent letter to Kevin Feige.
I will.
What about your one in Thor Ragnarok?
Hela.
Yeah,
she was hella forgettable.
Unusual though, in fairness. That's unusual.
Okay, look, let's get on to it. Yeah, there's this big fight. There's not really much to be said about it, aside from the fact that Bruce Banner is fighting in the Hulkbuster armor, trying to get the Hulk to come out, and the Hulk won't come out. He's like, nah.
I'm really glad, because it showed Bruce Banner himself is brave and capable without the Hulk.
The Hulk is like, I want to see in the next one, or at some point, but it'll probably be in the next one, because I can't see Mark Ruffalo doing this forever.
Yeah. He's only like 50.
A conversation. What?
He's only like 50.
He's only in his 50s.
He's only like 50.
Like, he should be. He was a bit old when they cast him for the role in the first place, but he'll be retiring fairly soon. I think, if not after the next one, then like immediately following that. I want to see, though, there's one comic book panel which is like very famous for being the only situation which has ever happened, with Bruce Banner and the Hulk like sitting down in a room talking. Right? And the way they do that is with some machine thing. Like, Bruce sits down in a machine and he goes into his mind and he talks to the Hulk, like in this all white room type of thing. I want to see a version of that on the big screen. That'd be cool.
That'd be great.
Maybe that's the way that he like reconciles with the Hulk.
But is that literally him going like, Hulk, listen, you gotta come out, like, Hulk, no, come, no.
Would you do it for a Hulk snack? Okay.
What would happen if like Bruce Banner like did a line of coke or something and just got really pumped up? Like, okay, I'm ready to go.
Woo! Let's go.
I'm just going to say, though, like, in real life, if you were to pilot something like the Hulkbuster, any man, even the Iron Man suit, you probably need to be on a huge load of prescription drugs just to handle it. Like,
wait, can you just like talk to the front of the mic rather than
if any man or woman was to pilot any of the Iron Man armor in real life, they'd probably need to be on a shitload of fucking drugs to do it.
Also, Tony Stark doesn't have like a real heart, so I imagine he doesn't have to worry about G-force.
Did he get his heart replaced, or
he has like a?
I thought he got the shrapnel taken out.
Yeah, like the machine. There's a machine that's like powering his heart or something. Like,
it's like a
the machine now powers the armor. It doesn't. So he got What happened was he had this thing in his chest, which is like a big magnet, basically stopping the shrapnel from spreading around his heart.
I should get that tattooed. That'd be pretty sick.
Yeah, no.
I think what he did was he removed the shrapnel surgically. So now he was left with a big hole in his chest. So we just put a reactor in there. Just for the crack. Like.
Literally, though, if a normal person gets into the Iron Man armor and they start flying around like that and all the rest. Suddenly they're going to be getting sick from the G-force.
Oh yeah, like listen, if you fell from, he's done it several times. Like you fall from a skyscraper and like smash against the ground, your bones are going to be dust. They're just going to be like.
When I was in Spain, we went to Ferrari Land, and one of the things was literally it was a roller coaster that goes as fast as a Ferrari, like at top speed. And I could feel the people, like we were in the second row, but like the people in the front row had to put like goggles on because of the fucking peel in their face, back.
Okay, right, we're going to move on, because there's not really much to be said about that except for the Hulk and whatever. They have this big showdown. Shuri is trying to take the Mind Stone out of Vision's forehead, because taking it out would kill him somehow. So they're trying to separate him from the Soul Stone without killing him.
Is that what gives him a soul? Is that what gives him a soul?
No, the thing is, like, Banner mentions that like it's possible that he can be a being in and of himself, without the Soul Stone. But yeah.
Where did they find that as well?
The Soul Stone.
Yeah,
or not the Soul. Sorry, the Mind Stone.
Where did they find that to give?
That
to
was
him?
in Loki's scepter from the
Oh
first
yeah.
But it wasn't actually originally supposed to be the Soul Stone. They just, or not the Soul Stone, the Mind Stone. They just retconned it to be like that.
Start
yeah.
raving hazelnuts.
Then we're coming up to the final scene of the film. So
Thank God.
Thor and Rocket and whatever are out in space, and then they finally get this axe forged.
I think Sam pointed out how the fuck did they get to know to go.
Can you move it? Yeah, just move the mic between you again. Yeah.
I think Sam pointed
further over, like. No, move it towards Owen, because it's more towards you right now. There.
I think Sam pointed out how the hell did they know to go specifically to Wakanda?
That's
Yeah,
like,
that's a good point.
that's very weird. I guess maybe the Bifrost knew it or something, some bullshit like that.
Maybe. Yeah.
Deus Ex Machina.
But yeah, so the entry, Thor's entry though.
Yeah, it was great.
Easily the most badass scene in this film.
Yeah.
And I love the whole fact the whole thing where they show up. And then all the Avengers recognize him, and Banner takes his helmet off, and he goes, you guys are screwed now.
Yeah.
And so before this film, and before Ragnarok, Thor got kind of like picked on by the Marvel fan base for being the most, or one of the more useless Avengers.
But he's not. What are they talking about?
Because like he just does lightning and stuff, but he's not like he doesn't seem like a god, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's just a guy who can wield lightning, but in this film, my god, no, he's a god in this film. Like, he kicks ass. So he shows up, whoops ass. Groot and Rocket are showing up, whooping ass. Groot has a scene with Captain America. Thor talks to Captain America. He goes, "This is my new friend, a tree." And then he goes, "I am Groot." And then Steve Rogers goes, "I am Steve Rogers." Like in this really weird way, like "take me to your leader" type of thing.
Wasn't there a bit where Steve and Thor like, "I see you copied my beard."
Oh yeah, new haircut. And he's like, "Oh, I see you copied my beard." And then Rocket and Bucky have a good thing as well. This is the thing. There's so many like great interactions which could happen, but there's way too many. Like you can make an entire film out of 30-second sound bites between two characters.
That's the thing, isn't it? Like literally, you could team up any one of these ones and you get a great film out of it. Like
you can just speak up. No.
You could team up any number of these characters in any kind of random order and you get a good film out of it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, and this is the thing they're setting themselves up for.
Yeah.
You could have a Thor and Guardians movie years down the line. You could have a Doctor Strange and Spider-Man movie down the line. Yeah. You could, because you're bringing them all together. They don't have to be with each other all the time. It's like in the latest season of Luke Cage. Have you watched that yet? There's an episode at near towards the end where Iron Fist shows up, but it's just for one episode. Like he shows, it's a team up episode. Like so.
Yeah, they're always.
It's actually probably the best episode in the whole thing.
They're always like making sure to mix them up.
Isn't Iron Fist very bad though?
Yeah.
Iron Fist,
wasn't that great.
The character, they've changed him a bit based on feedback.
Wasn't he Asian? In the
Move it over again. Sorry, it's like it's no towards Owen, but between you guys because not picking Owen up as well.
Wasn't he Asian?
Who?
Iron Fist.
Yeah, he was Asian
in the comics.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Well, no, he's a rich guy that he's flying and he crashes in Asia.
Yeah,
But
he's a
anyway,
rich in
But
the show anyway. He's a rich New
but
York
they
kid.
make sure that they make sure to mix up the characters a lot, because I suppose when you were watching the original Avengers, you wouldn't have thought that Steve Rogers and Thor would have like kind of that alone time kind of
Yeah.
mixing up thing, you know.
Yeah, so Rocket and Bucky have this scene where Rocket looks at his arm and goes, "How much for the arm?" And he goes, "It's not for sale." "Oh, I'm going to get that arm." He goes, it's brilliant. Yeah, so they're all kicking ass, and then suddenly Thanos shows up.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
He's like, "Oh no, oh dear." And he's here for the Mind Stone. So Vision at this point has been kicked out of the table that he's been operated on.
Yeah.
And he gets booted out, and he's down in some forest somewhere. He asks Scarlet Witch to kill him because that's the only way that they can ensure that the Mind Stone doesn't get into his hands.
And
she proceeds to do that.
Yes.
She succeeds.
Yeah.
Then Thanos shows up, and he starts walking towards him,
Yeah.
running a gauntlet of Avengers, just tossing them aside like they're nothing.
Yeah.
And then at the end, he gets there just in time to see the Mind Stone shatter.
Yeah.
Then we find out very quickly that it doesn't matter
Yeah.
shit, because he got the Time Stone. So what did he do? He picks up Vision's corpse,
Yeah.
reverses it, so that reverses time so that Vision comes back, and proceeds to rip the Time Stone out of his head, and then he turns into this grey, lifeless mannequin. And that's got to be... Imagine you're an 8-year-old kid watching this movie.
Yeah. Oh god.
Like, that's got to do stuff to you.
Poor Wanda had to watch Vision die twice.
Jesus.
God damn.
Well, look, I can't say I'm sympathetic because she shouldn't have feelings for him anyway.
Oh my god,
'Cause
will
he's
you
a
fuck
goddamn
off, you
robot.
bigot? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Take your misogynistic opinion.
I'm not misogynistic, I'm anti-robot, okay?
all love is equal, you know.
Yeah.
No, my
Why do you
problem
think
is
I
not, my
voted
problem
yes,
is
eh?
with the fact that it's, robot stuff. It's like,
We didn't vote yes for you to be spewing your hate everywhere, Sean.
it's robot hate, okay? It's robot hate, right? Anyway, okay, yeah, it doesn't matter because he picks up the Mind Stone, puts it on the gauntlet. Then out of nowhere, RKO out of nowhere, Thor comes in
Yeah.
with a big old axe, throws it straight at his chest, like right there.
Yeah.
And
Does what every other Avenger failed to do. He mortally wounds Thanos.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in fairness, none of them has a weaponry for it.
Yeah.
So they get him. He gets him square in the chest, probably through the heart.
Yeah.
And I forgot what he says. Something he says like, I told you you die for that, or something, like after like he kills Heimdall at the beginning of the film. And then snap. But not before he goes, "You should have gone for the head." That's his last line before.
Yeah.
Because he then snaps, and then
That's what
we
I
get
say to everyone.
the screen turns white,
Oh,
entirely white. And I gotta tell you, I gotta bitch about something for a second here. Because when I saw the film in the cinema for the first time, there was a group of about 5 or 6 14-year-olds sitting directly in front of me. And they were doing that fucking thing where you try and clap as loud as you can.
What?
Like, you know that thing, have you heard of the game? Well, okay, the game is called Bogies, technically.
Well, like the
Oh
game.
yeah, Bo. Yeah.
But
is that
it's
the
all
game, like,
we used to play chicken fucker in school.
We used to play penis.
All right, well, yeah.
There's variations of it, basically.
Whatever, but
yeah.
like this is the same thing, but like with clapping. And
It's
they've
called being
decided
a
to do it at
dickhead.
this point. And that moment, the screen goes white and there's no sound. And these fuckers down the front, they're clapping. I want them to hit him in the back of the head, I
Maybe
swear to
they're
God.
maybe they're like, is the movie over yet?
No, they
Not yet,
weren't.
no.
No,
There
they were
was,
just clapping. They were like, I thought it was just one guy who was like really ecstatic to have seen the snap and go, yeah. But no, 5 of them kept doing it, and it was a different one each time. So that's how I knew they were doing the game. Anyway,
at least
if
they
you
weren't-
if you by any chance are one of those kids listening to this movie or listening to this podcast, fuck you, right?
At least they didn't go, chicken fucker.
Yeah.
I would have, I got, actually, at the end of the film, after the film and the credits were rolling, one of them got up and went, "Wakanda forever!" And I was just like,
They should make
man, I want to punch you
they
so
should-
bad, but it's illegal to hate kids.
They should
Anyway,
make a new version of the game where it's Stark Raven Hazelnuts.
what?
Yeah.
They should make a version of it where it's Stark Raven.
Stark Raven Hazelnuts.
Stark Raven Hazelnuts.
Anyway, right. That's the safe word. We gotta get back on track.
Yeah. It's way too.
Thanos is teleported to the inside the soul world, where he confronts Gamora. She's a child at this point. She goes, "Did you do it?" He goes, "Yeah." What did it cost? Everything.
Really did
Oh
that.
yeah, we skipped the entire bit where it was like talking about Gamora and
Gamora's past.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfectly balanced, as all things should be. That's literally the only thing.
Was it really balanced in the end?
Probably not.
Was what balance? The fact that he went to a planet and then lined up. But the way he does that, by
Was
the
it-
way, the way he kills half of a planet is messed up. He's like, pick a side. You pick a
Is it
side,
just-
and he picks one at random to kill.
Is it just the planet of Earth or every single planet in the universe?
Well, I mean, he was doing it manually before
Yeah.
getting the souls, before getting the stones.
Yeah.
So he was going around to planets which were overpopulated.
Yeah.
And
But
taking
it's just
out.
every planet now.
I think it was every.
Like, is there just some
I think
planet
his plan
now where,
was
like,
to do
there's
every
a
planet.
primitive society of like cave people, and only half of them disappeared? They're like,
Right. Okay, we got to move on. Then what happens? Let me see. Yeah.
Sits down as a
We teleport back to Wakanda, or we not teleport. We cut back to Wakanda. So we get a shot of the Avengers just walking around. I assume all the. It's never addressed whether all the bad guys like this just suddenly disappear.
yeah,
But everything is calm, so we can assume so.
yeah.
And then, Thor goes to Thanos. What did you do? And he teleports out. He's like, I'm out, bitches. Then, who's the first one to go?
I think it's what's his name with the wings.
Wilson, Sam Wilson, Falcon.
Yeah, and he's like behind a bush.
No, you know what? It's
and-
Bucky. It's Bucky. Bucky goes to.
Oh, yeah,
goes
Steve, what's going
He goes
on?
Steve, and then he just
Yeah.
disappears.
At some point, I think he's next. He's behind the bushes, and what's his name? Don Cheadle's character's looking
Hey,
for.
you behind the bushes.
War Machine
Yeah.
goes to. He's calling out for.
Yeah.
War Machine.
War Machine's looking for him, and he's like, "Hey,
Sam
where
Wilson.
are you, man?"
He's calling out Sam, where are you? And he just disappears when he's in the bushes.
Yeah.
So.
Um,
Then you also get Black Panther gets up and he's trying to lift up his royal guard. What's her name? Okoye, is it?
yeah. And
Trying to lift her up, and he disappears as he's reaching for her hand.
Yeah, I liked that a lot. I thought it was going to be her.
His last line is "Get up, this is no place to die," and he just like disappears.
It'd be funny if like if he was lifting her up and then he disappears in the middle and she falls back.
Oh no! Then we cut to Titan,
Oh yeah.
and oh boy,
Yeah.
we get who's the first one to go here?
I think it's.
Doctor Strange.
I think
No, it's not. It's
Man Spider.
It's not. he's the last one.
no. Is it? I think it is actually. Yeah, it's so
Spoiler
Peter goes
alert.
he goes,
Yeah.
Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good.
Yeah,
You're alright.
Which has of course become a meme, but it's a meme because it's so damn memorable.
Don't feel so good.
Why was it so painful for him, but like everyone else seems to just go?
This
was
is
like
like
his mentor.
fan theories that his spider sense he could sense something is up.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Somebody went
He's a little
first. Somebody went first. I don't know who it was. It might have been
Wang.
I think it
Wong.
was-
Wasn't there? No, Wong was in the sanctum,
Wong.
being a little bitch.
I think it was actually Quill that went first.
No, it wasn't that because Quill goes after Tony goes to him. Quill, stay,
Oh yeah.
and then no, it's Drax. Drax goes first.
Yeah, and
think.
then I think
He just disappears.
Mantis,
He looks at. He goes Quill, and he disappears.
Yeah.
And then it's Mantis. Then Tony goes to Quill. Goes Quill, stay, and then Strange goes to him. No, he doesn't. I was gonna say he says Stark. He doesn't say Stark. He says Tony. He calls him Tony. He's like the only time he calls him Tony. He goes, Tony, this is the only way, or this was the only way, and then he disappears.
Anto.
Huh?
Anto.
Anto, I'm telling you, it was the only fucking way.
I think that yoke was a bit.
I saw fucking 14 million different endings, and I'm battered in my head, so my head is melted.
I think it's a bit kind of goofy that. Oh, it just happens that they're all the original Avengers left now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, should
Um.
have sprinkled it a little bit, you know.
So and then Spider-Man goes.
Yeah.
He goes, Mr. Stark, I don't want to go, and then he just disappears. And his last words are, "I'm sorry."
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh god.
Yeah.
I didn't actually.
The only ones left are Nebula and
I
Stark.
didn't actually get phased by that much when I was.
Don't do
sorry,
that. Don't do that.
sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't actually get phased by it much.
No, I was talking about the stand. Like, don't touch the stand.
Yeah.
You can look at your phone. Like, that's fine.
Yeah.
Spider-Man is dead,
But he won't be for long.
but he won't be for long because they're already filming the sequel,
Yeah.
and we already know the name of the sequel, which is Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Yeah.
So, all right.
I hope that means it's going to be 2099 Spider-Man.
I don't. I don't think so. I think what the one that they're doing right now is more like the Spectacular Spider-Man. I think is it supposed to be?
Oh yeah.
Wait. So this is going to be different.
No, it's not going to be a different Spider-Man because it's Tom Holland.
Yeah, it's the Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's either I've forgotten which is which. The
Amazing Spider-Man
the
was the
Spectacular and Amazing Spider-Man are different kind of styles, but I forgot which.
Amazing
is which.
Spider-Man was the first one.
Yeah.
Do you remember
It could be the
Yeah.
Amazing Spider-Man.
Right.
They're kind of.
They had a poster as well for Homecoming where he's has
It's
the
an
famous
imitation of the first ever cover.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm actually real
From-
hyped for the Spider-Man game as well.
Oh, I can't wait.
I am gonna as a day one buy. I'm getting that day one.
Yeah.
And since Kingdom Hearts is now off the release calendar for this year, it's one less game I have to buy this year.
It's
so.
going to be a very Spidey Christmas though, because we've also got the Miles Morales film
Oh,
coming
I
out.
can't
right?
wait for that.
Yeah.
They've got a in the Insomniac
Venom.
Spider-Man game actually though
Yeah.
they announced that the Iron Spider suit from Infinity War is going to be in it
Yeah.
as well as the Homecoming suit. So,
And the Amazing Spider-Man.
from-
They have the original Amazing Spider-Man suit as well.
You mean like from the comics?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, from
Okay.
the 60s.
I thought you were talking
cartoon,
about the
no.
movie. I was like,
I'm
okay.
actually I'm gonna pre-order that. I never pre-order, but because you get like
don't
6,
pre-order. The thing about pre-orders is
but
you can
get
pre-order
6
them a day
you
beforehand,
get
and you
6
still get
costumes.
what?
You get 6 alternate skins.
Yeah, but you can pre-order a thing the day before it comes out, and you can still get all the benefits. I remember I pre-ordered Fallout 4 the day before it came out, and I still got the GameStop bonus, which was a free bobblehead. Cool.
I don't really like pre-ordering because it means you have to pay like the $79.99
Upfront,
in these places, you know.
Anyway, Spider-Man died, and we cut back to the Avengers. The remaining Avengers in Wakanda are like, what happened? Whatever. And then Steve is sitting with Vision's body. He goes, oh god, no, yeah. No, he just goes, oh god.
I don't remember him having that visceral reaction, but yeah.
Yeah, no, he's incapable of doing that. We cut to Titan again, where we see Nebula going, he did it, and then Tony Stark is just... He is a completely broken man. This is everything he didn't want to happen has just happened.
What happens if Thanos goes to a planet where it is actually quite balanced and quite...
I think I think the
joyful?
stone... Now, this is the thing. There's a lot of theories about how exactly the ins and outs of how this works. I think the stone probably picks planets to wipe out based on how bad they are. Also, I just like to point out that due to the law of the laws of exponents, wiping out half of the universe is pretty much useless because it'll be back to the same size it was in no time.
Yeah, that's true. And it should be worth noting as well that he's going to kill far more than just the amount of people that he thought when he snapped his fingers. Cause, you literally in the post-credits scene you see a fucking helicopter crashed into a building.
That's the thing. And then it cuts to... So we're gonna get on to the post-credit scene in just a minute. It cuts to Thanos on some random planet, being a farmer, watching the sun rise on a grateful universe. And then cut to black. Avengers Infinity War title card. The text then fades away into ash. Then credits, then post-credits.
It said the Avengers will return or something like that. Didn't it say the Avengers will return?
No, it said Thanos will return.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Then a post-credit scene is Maria Hill and Samuel L. Jackson, or was it Nick Fury? In New York, it seems, driving down the roads. They're saying, we're trying to get in touch with Tony Stark. You're saying, Hill, did you say the energy levels in Wakanda were really, really high or something like that? Whatever. They're saying oh my god, shit's going down. Something's up. And then suddenly, helicopter crashes into the building in front of them. And something's up.
I saw every single car crashed in the street. It's loads.
They crash a car because the car in front of them has no driver.
Yeah, and that's the thing. All those people driving on motorways and all the rest. And
well, maybe because all the stones are working together. You got the Soul Stone, the Time Stone, whatever. Maybe they all work together to perfectly balance out, considering the number of people who are going to die from horrible accidents and stuff.
Do you think it's that precise?
Imagine
What if that precise? What if like both parents evaporate and there's a baby left in the house on their own?
Then the baby
like,
dies. But it was mathematically calculated the baby was going to die. Now, I'm not saying I agree
Probably
with this
deserved
at
it.
all. I'm not saying I agree with this.
This is
because it's a
reprehensible,
horrible way if you're lucky, you're one of let's say 30% of people who get snapped, and then the remaining 20% die from the consequences of the snap.
Yeah.
I would much rather be in a 30% than 20%.
Same, yeah.
I would not have an airliner smash into my house or something like that.
What if you were a prisoner and all the guards got wiped out?
Well, then
In
you'd
a
be
prison
locked in
riot and you get shanked.
Or you'd be locked in your cell unable to get out because nobody has a key.
What if when he snaps his fingers, Captain Marvel got killed?
We're getting on to that. So the final post-credit scene is Nick Fury and Maria Hill. Maria Hill fades to Ash, and then Nick goes, "Oh no, I gotta reach for this pager which I've had in my jacket the whole damn time."
Yeah.
Apparently.
do
This pager looks like something out of the 1990s. It's rigged up with some kind of special modifications.
Yeah.
Perhaps to send a signal into space, perhaps to send a signal to an alternate dimension. We don't know. He presses the pager,
and then
proceeds to fade into black.
Well,
not
so-
before saying "mother."
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He fades into Ash, and then camera pans onto the pager, which shows the Captain Marvel insignia.
I didn't recognize it when I first saw that.
Hmm?
I didn't recognize it when I first saw it, but my brother did, and he was like, "Oh,
Captain Marvel. Yeah. It seems like she's going to be the Deus Ex Machina, basically, that they need.
she got killed."
What exactly are her powers? She's just like Superman.
She's like Superman, but like turned up to 11. Like she can do everything.
And she's a pilot, I think.
Yeah, like it's not specified. Like in the official synopsis they've released now, it's like something like Carol Danvers is a pilot in the 1990s, and then she gets granted cosmic powers, and then something I don't know. So she's basically a god.
Yeah.
Who's Shazam?
Hmm?
Who's Shazam?
He's a DC hero.
Shazam is
a bit
one of
off
the
the
Greek
top of
gods who like gets
Didn't they
turned.
get-
He
they
for
call-
some reason a kid can turn into like a kid finds this like old artifact or something.
I saw a picture of one, and I was like, "Is that a cosplay?"
No, is this
Is
really
that-
buff dude standing next to a kid drinking a can of cola? Did you see that?
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
"Is that like a?" It looks like a.
Is he
It looks
just-
like a
hang on.
generic superhero off an ad off the telly.
It's not a cosplay. It's a shift in tone for the DC.
He
It
looks
sounds
like,
like this sounds like JoJo actually. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
What's that?
The idea in that is an anime where, like, in part 3 of that, the heroes all have these things called stands, where it's like a manifestation of your soul and can do certain things, and like it manifests in a kind of physical form next to you. as a
He looks
stand.
like he stole Jay Leno's chin or something, you know. That's how like superhero.
I feel well like they cast Zachary Levi as Shazam because
If you Google-
they were gonna do The Rock for a while.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, but I have a feeling they picked Zachary Levi because one, he's cheaper than The Rock, and two, he looks like the default character in every RPG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looked,
Like, he just looks like generic white guy number one.
his arms looked a bit too big. A bit
They're
weird.
probably padded out and stuff in the
Yeah,
costume.
that's
Anyway, moving from DC to Marvel. That's it. That's the
end
Yeah.
of Marvel.
That's the end of the
the
film.
end.
Yeah.
That's the end of the Marvel universe. There will be no more movies. That is it.
Yeah. Good
No,
night.
okay. So that's Avengers: Infinity War. We got any comments on where we think?
It's alright. It's alright.
Yeah.
It's alright.
Yeah, it's
I
alright.
liked it.
I thought it was. There was serious potential for this film to be a complete and utter disaster.
Yeah.
Having this many characters on the screen at once.
Oh yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they did a good job.
It's
They did a very good job bringing it together. Even for somebody like you could in theory watch this film on its own.
It's
Yeah.
actually weird how well it went, considering.
There were way more ways for it to go wrong.
Yeah.
Than,
And I managed to keep up with it, having only seen about half of the Marvel films.
Yeah.
You know, it was pretty good
Yeah.
in that regard.
It really should have been one of those films like that you compare it to other ones in the Marvel universe. Is like, oh, this is where it went wrong. Like, you know, like this is where they kind of blew
Yeah.
things out. of
well,
proportion.
here's the thing.
But
the
no, it
rumor is that,
stands,
or the thought, there is a school of thought out there that this is where interest stops because the story the main plot is coming to an end. I'll be interested to see how they plan to keep people's attention after this.
Wouldn't Galactus be more powerful than Thanos? Because he can eat a whole
Yeah,
planet.
but Galactus is we can't talk about Galactus because he's not he's not in the,
I can't wait to see him though.
there's a few barriers to that now. So there's a guy has actually sued, I think, Yeah, he sued Disney. He's a Disney shareholder who has sued Disney over the terms of the Fox merger or something like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
the Fox murder.
Yeah, I heard
Oh,
that.
merger. Yeah.
Merger,
heard
not
that-
Fox murder.
I heard that might not be going ahead, but they've increased their bid.
Man.
They did, yeah.
It was like 75 billion or something.
After I think Comcast bid something higher, and then they upped their bid to 70 billion or something.
What do Comcast do?
They're a broadcast company.
They own like They own a lot of TV stations in America, and I think they own like some movie studio.
Eesh.
I can't remember who it was.
They
It's
must
somebody.
have announced at some point, Fox, that they were going to sell these IPs or something like that. They must have announced they were going to sell a lot of this stuff, Fox.
All the what? Sorry, they must have announced.
Fox must have announced they were going to sell a lot of this stuff, like
So like what? Which?
all these property rights. Like,
I'm not sure they did. They might have like I'm not entirely sure. I think they might have like agreed to this deal in private.
Do Fox want to be boss?
No, well, like it makes money for all the Fox
Yeah.
shareholders.
Yeah.
Like Fox, when you're talking about Fox, like you're not generally talking about the people who work at Fox. You're talking about the shareholders, and the shareholders would absolutely love a merger with Disney because they get filthy rich and get Disney stock.
Yeah.
You know, so
yeah.
you know you get your dividend from the sale itself, and then you also get the shares with Disney, which is like which are like gold dust. So-
Imagine having like a 1% share in the profits for like the Avengers and stuff.
Yeah.
You wouldn't. Well, I'm not sure who has 1%. But if you had, you know, you get dividends off the profits.
Do you reckon
from
like the
Disney every
Russo
year.
brothers get like even 1% of what the profits are?
Wait, what?
Do you reckon the Russo brothers get like 1%?
I don't know what the deal is, but they don't.
They probably get paid.
I'm fairly
like,
sure they don't
from-
get like a percentage profit deal. They get like a fixed thing,
Yeah.
and then like the goodwill to direct more movies, maybe.
Yeah.
But I do know actually there was somebody was offered to play Gandalf. Somebody, it was the guy.
In another Lord of the Rings.
No. And before they got Ian McKellen, they had offered it to somebody else. No, it was Sean Connery. They'd offered it to Sean Connery, and they offered him like a 10% cut of just the profits from the movies. And he didn't want to do it for whatever reason.
God.
So they got Ian McKellen instead. Anyway, look, where do we think the Marvel Universe is going to go after this? How are they going to get out of this one, boys?
I think they will get Captain Marvel. Like, I don't understand exactly what her powers are, but if she can do anything with time, she's going to definitely
Yeah.
fix it that way. But maybe they will find... There's going to be some sort of MacGuffin that they find. They'll be like, oh, this is going to fix it. Like,
Probably, yeah.
There have been...
I don't think there'll be a-
There's been leaked set photos from Avengers 4. And I can talk about them if you want.
Go on.
Yeah, go
Actually,
on.
give us a hint.
Unless it's a mad
So
spot.
the set photos have shown the boys in a destroyed... So the original Avengers. No sign of Hawkeye yet. He hasn't shown up in any set photos. But... The set photos have shown Captain America, Iron Man, and Ant-Man
Oh,
together in a destroyed street looking like New York.
yeah.
But the interesting thing about it is that Captain America is in his original 2012 Avengers costume,
Oh.
and Iron Man is not. He's not wearing the suit on the set. He's wearing the Black Sabbath T-shirt that he wore in the first
Yeah,
Avengers film.
Time travel.
But Ant-Man is there.
Time travel still.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
gonna-
this is the
he's
thing,
gonna
this
do that
rumor is time travel or
dimensional
whatever.
shit, like-
Yeah.
Some kind of weird. They're gonna get weird in the next.
Did he
one.
have the beard?
Hmm?
Did Captain America have the beard?
No, he looked exactly like he does in the original Avengers.
Oh, yeah.
It's time travel.
Time travel or alternate dimension stuff.
Or else they got really young.
Or else they got what?
Really young.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be like right after the first Avengers, you know, when they're like celebrating and chilling.
Well, it looks like it was happening during the Battle of New York, so they could be like time traveling back. But the other thing is,
I wonder why.
the other theory is that this is done with the technology from. You've seen Civil War now, have you?
No.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, okay. It's on Netflix. You need to see Civil War. At the start of Civil War, there's a scene with Tony Stark reliving past memories with this like brand new technology he's got.
Oh, yeah.
and like he teleports himself to
when he was a kid. Like,
when he was a kid. Yeah,
that was really weird looking. Like,
it's de-aged Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
But the rumor is that the theory is that this could be using that technology.
They've had time travel already, like.
No, it was like a simulation.
They have in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. they had time travel. Kind of.
Yeah.
Um,
Forward in time, not backwards.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll just find Thanos again and get his thing.
Yeah.
What if they rap battle him?
Yes.
Yeah.
With the rap dancing thing that you were talking about.
The finger thing. Hey Thanos, look, I was gonna do that like magic trick thing.
Yeah.
You know?
They'll probably find him when he's asleep and take the Infinity Stone. Or take
Oh yeah, it's that. Whoa! What am I bet you're real scared. We're doing all this magic stuff.
I want to see. Yeah. I do kind of hope that like go to his farm and like this is before like the plot majorly kicks off, but just they go to his farm like and he's all like, oh guys, look, I don't fight anymore, I'm done, like, and they just proceed to kick this shit out of him.
Hey Thanos, put your hand sideways like that.
Yeah. No, I literally just want to see all the surviving Avengers just go to Thanos' farm and him be like, it's over now, I don't fight anymore, and they'll be like, yeah, no.
No. Give me your lunch money, nerd. I the one thing that I like about the ending of this film is like it's very, very difficult to speculate what is going to be. Yeah. How they're going to bring people back. Obviously they are going to bring people back. Yeah. Like it's
what if they don't? What if they're like, fuck you, we're just
somebody's going to eat it. Somebody is going to
pretending to. We're spending millions on the new Spider-Man just to messages, and we're going to cancel it.
It's actually a Venom film the whole time.
There is a really interesting. Somebody brought this up, I think, on the Marvel Studios Reddit, which was how are they going to market the new Spider-Man movie? Because the Marvel slate of films for next year is March Captain Marvel, May Avengers 4, and then July, I think, is Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
How do you... Because the normal run-up to cinema release is like 3 months ahead at the very latest you release a trailer. Yeah. It can be as early as like 9 months ahead of the film, or sometimes even a year. But how are they going to do that with Spider-Man dead? How do you market Spider-Man with him dead? You know?
Put it at the end of the films, like coming soon to theaters.
He does. It's a prequel. It's not a direct continuation of Infinity War.
No, it's definitely not a prequel though.
No.
It's definitely a sequel because he has the. I mean, he gets the suit in Civil War, and Civil War leads straight into.
Wait, I think I heard he was in his original, like his kind of street clothes, wasn't he? Not street clothes, but it's like his first suit.
In the new one. Well, no, there's been set photos released or not released.
Was he using like the Tony Stark suits?
No, he's in the Homecoming suit.
Yeah, the really crappy one.
No, the Homecoming, the high tech Stark suit, but not the Iron Spider.
Because it could have been like while he was still on YouTube and stuff. You know, like,
maybe. But
then again, that would be kind of going back to who are you?
Like the only place where you could set it where it's between where he first gets the suit and Infinity War, is unless.
Why wouldn't he mention?
Unless it is set between Homecoming and Infinity War, could be.
It might be.
I think it'd be a bit weird if it was.
It would be weird.
I think
it might open on that Mego and what the fuck, like, and him be like, oh.
Yeah, actually.
What the fuck happened after that?
Yeah.
Nobody knows. Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, that's where it could be set. That's
really odd. I forgot that.
That's what I meant by it's a prequel to Infinity War.
Yeah.
But the rumor of the plot is that it's going to be like this globe-trotting adventure. Like his class gets split up on a global exchange type thing.
Yeah.
They've been shooting in London. They've been shooting in Japan. I think they've been shooting in Australia. So rumor is that he's going to be like off around the world doing like weird stuff, like Spider-Man. Where in the world is Spider-Man?
I hope he has to save Ned from like a bar fight with a lot of Cockneys in London. That'd be great.
I bet they will go back in time after when they're fighting with Thanos and all that to before Aunt May knows that he's Spider-Man.
Possibly, yeah.
Anyway,
or else she's just going to be like, "Oh yeah, you're Spider-Man, aren't you?" You know.
Okay.
In the original Spider-Man 2, or we can talk about it after.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Have we got any concluding remarks on where we think the Marvel Universe is going to go?
I thought we just said that.
Yeah, but like anymore.
I honestly think I'm going by my theory that Marvel Studios is an absolute circus at the moment because they killed off all the characters they thought nobody would care about, and then it turned out actually they do.
Marvel Studios is kind of like that girl that you're afraid to ask out on a date, and when she actually says yes, you're like, holy shit, what do we do now?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Kevin Feige is like, oh my god, I didn't think we'd get this far. Make up some stuff.
It's like in Black Books when he invites like the Jehovah's Witnesses into the house. They don't know what to do, and they're like, oh, we've got leaflets though,
What I want to see in the future is I want to see... So obviously the next one is going to be like a farewell to the original Avengers.
Yeah.
With the exceptions of... So I think Tony Stark's going to eat it in the next one. He's going to die. If he doesn't, I want to see an Iron Man 4 with the Mandarin, the actual Mandarin, as a villain.
Yeah.
And have him die in that one or retire.
Yeah. The actual Mandarin.
Yeah. I want to see a standalone Hulk film.
Yes.
And that will be the farewell for the Hulk.
I actually liked the one from Universal, the Abomination one.
Yeah, that's the Marvel Cinematic Universe one.
That's what you need to do. That's how you actually get the Hulk to come out. Get him horny.
Get him what?
Get the Hulk. Get Bruce Banner horny.
So just get Natasha to do a striptease in front of him.
Yeah, because in the 2008 one,
it was all about the heart rate. Yeah, he had the heart rate.
Yeah, he's having sex, and he nearly gets like.
Well, that is the same character though.
Yeah,
like it is. It's weird. Like with him being Edward Norton.
For Natasha, if he just suddenly goes full Hulk right in the middle of it. Like.
What if they explain away the sudden change and like, oh well, that was a Hulk from a different dimension, and he just happened to look like Edward Norton in this dimension?
Yeah.
What? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe an alternate reality.
Glow up.
Yeah, I also want to see Thor 4.
Oh yes.
And I'm actually going to get more specific with my desire for this one. I want it to be called The Mighty Thor.
Yeah.
And just have it be the last one with this version of Thor or whatever.
Is that what he's called?
And then what else?
He passes the torch on to your woman, that's the Valkyrie, and she's the next Thor.
Yeah.
He passed on to Atreus.
Yeah.
Atreus.
Although the fate of Valkyrie
Kratos.
and Korg and Meek is it's unclear, but it has been said by the directors that half the ship did escape and the remaining half were left on the ship.
Yeah.
So
I'd like to see him fight Kratos.
Maybe they got away in
I'd say they
see him fight Kratos in the end.
Yeah. Let me think what else. Yeah, no, I don't know what, like, obviously the next phase is X-Men and Fantastic Four, that type of thing. Yeah. They're going to be introducing that.
What about, who would you have as Reed Richards?
As who?
Reed Richards.
John Krasinski.
Really?
Yeah, easy.
Huh.
Have you seen the pictures that people have, like, drawn up?
Did you hear people suggesting John Hamm as Batman?
As Batman?
I was like, holy shit, that'd actually be pretty cool.
Yeah.
He looks exactly like how Bruce Banner would probably look. You know your man
Here's
from
why. Look at this.
You know your man from Mad Men, the marketing guy.
Yeah.
That's why.
Holy shit.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Holy.
He was supposed to be Captain America.
Yeah. And
then they gave it to Chris Evans and said, or no, he pulled out.
Yeah.
Imagine he becomes the Human Torch.
Who?
Imagine he becomes the Human Torch.
Yeah, well, the thing is, actually, I don't know who you could cast as the Human Torch. I'm sure actually, the other one. This is
what age would the
some of the fan castings that have been going around have been Zac Efron as the Human Torch.
That'd be good.
Not bad.
Yeah.
He could do it.
Invisible Woman.
People have been throwing around Emily Blunt because she's actually married to.
Oh yeah, John Krasinski.
Yeah.
And The Thing.
As the Thing, you could put anybody in the Thing because you could even have the Thing be just CGI and just have a voice. So anybody with a good voice.
They're not going to do an origin story, you don't think then? You don't think they're going to do an origin story then?
What about?
If they do, like, here's the other thing actually.
A big thing about The Thing is him trying to get back to normal though as well.
Can you move the mic between you guys?
A big character arc for The Thing often is him trying to get back to normal somehow.
Yeah.
And then
can you say that's coming through the sounds, right? Can you just let go of it?
Sure, yeah. Him trying to get back to normal and like him saying, "Oh, like nobody's gonna like me when I'm like this. It's clobbering time." But then he falls in love with a blind girl. And she's like, "I don't care how you look." He's like, "It's clobbering time."
Does he?
Yeah.
You could. So two things. First off, I think it would be very, very ironic if they put The Rock as
Yeah,
That's the thing.
I was thinking The Rock there for.
Only problem is he's really expensive. The other thing I was going to say is you could, and this is something I read in some article somewhere. You could have, if they're going to bring in this weird shit with like alternate realities and stuff, you could have the Fantastic Four do a space mission in the 60s, and something happens whereby they get trapped in the negative zone or whatever for 50 years.
Oh,
And
that's
then
a
they
great idea. And
That'd
I'd love
be-
to see them having to deal with 2000s culture then after coming out of the 60s. Like,
Yeah.
because I just want to see them get into the shuttle like dressed in the fucking.
Yeah, like dressed in the
1960s
old school spandex
Are
type
you,
of thing.
saying,
Yeah,
are you saying you don't want Miles Teller as Reed Richards?
He was actually not
The-
badly cast.
The entire cast was fine. It's just a terrible movie.
Yeah.
So
If Miles Teller is Reed Richards, then the Human Torch should have been like a 10-year-old, because the age gap is supposed to be like a good
Well,
long.
it doesn't really have to be that.
you can take creative liberty with that
Yeah.
type of stuff. Anyway, yeah, and then we've already cast the X-Men, I think, on Frame Rate before. But
We have, yeah.
What do you think of Tom Hardy as Venom though, so far? I think that,
it has been completely confirmed that it's entirely separate from the Marvel
Yeah,
universe.
yeah.
But if you're doing weird alternate realities and shit, it could be an alternate reality.
Yeah, it's not.
You could
they're never going to discount it.
you could have Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man come in.
What?
No.
You could have Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man come in.
Yeah,
I
that's
really
that's a long
want-
shot. This is the thing. I don't agree with this thing, which a lot of people have been calling for, which is like, well, if you're doing alternate realities, just say all the Fox movies are the X-Men and just carry them over.
Yeah.
No, because they're tonally very different. You have to cast them all again. You have to
I
boot it up
do
again.
want to see like a multiverse Spider-Man film where you run the likes of Spider-Gwen and Miles Morales, but you also see the Amazing Spider-Man played by what's his name? Really handsome lad from England. What's his name?
Oh,
Tom
Andrew
Holland?
Garfield.
Tom Holland.
Oh, Tom Holland.
Yeah. And
No, Tom Holland.
No,
or
not
Andrew
Tom
Garfield?
Holland. Sorry, the other handsome lad from England. The older
Andrew
one.
Garfield.
Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire as well show up.
No, but you're gonna have Tobey Maguire as Uncle Ben.
Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, Tobey Maguire.
yeah.
Andrew Garfield looked like the guy who would beat up Peter Parker.
Yeah.
He could be cast as Flash Thompson. Actually, he'd be good.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to think about the Flash Thompson in Homecoming, because he was just.
I love him because he's such a poser. This is the
Yeah,
thing. He's
yeah,
like
yeah.
So-
he isn't shit, but he acts like he is. This is the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Which is in fairness to him, most teenage bullies are. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
What do you think of, like, I know it's DC, but like they said John Hamm would be considered for Batman.
Yeah, there's the thing. They're gonna have to do an alternate reality flip
Yeah.
for that, and they're gonna do that with Flashpoint apparently.
They're probably going to scrap it all, but still.
Okay, guys, we've been recording for 2 hours, so we
Yeah,
better
we're stopping.
wrap it up.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah.
They should.
Well, we'll see you soon for our last Jedi chat, which should be an even more ferocious argument than this last one.
The Last Jedi chat is gonna get ugly, right? So we're gonna have a proper walking debate where we're gonna have people on each side, pro and anti Last Jedi. We're gonna have a civil war, proper civil war.
Are we gonna have like a line of security between the two sides?
Probably.
If it gets ugly, we might have to. I might get some of that police tape and then just like put it across the room.
There will be blood.
Or get one of those dividers, a velvet rope divider.
Security
Yeah.
dogs.
So this has been our thoughts on Infinity War. I guess give it a rating out of 10.
Oh, I'd say a good 8 out of 10.
A good 8.5, 9.
I'm gonna give it a 9.5
Really?
because there were so many ways for it to go wrong and they didn't go wrong.
That's what I was saying. I just give it a 9, considering how well it went.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually,
And how well it gets us excited for
yeah,
part 4, which is only in a couple of months.
yeah.
time.
It could have been just okay and still like enjoyable, but they actually did improve on a lot of things as well as making sure not to like turn it into a steaming pile of rubbish. You know?
Yeah, true.
Okay.
Right.
All right. This has been Frame Rate, not on Trinity FM. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.